$871
it
at
is.
148.
$80.
We popping this thing off.
I think 6 feet wide.
Intro
Yeah,
music.
I wanted to do it.
It's been a while, huh? Gotta remember where all the buttons are.
Yes, somewhat, and it's a lot further away.
$80. 6 feet wide.
I kind of regret it, knowing how long this is. Yep. But it also, like, the notifications that go to people, it gives them a second to catch up. You know?
I hate it.
I didn't realize how long it was until you're waiting for it to go over.
Yep. I've had that
That's
problem
like I was
before.
listening to Topics earlier.
Your wife has that problem every time.
Is this over yet?
Topics felt like theirs was 5 minutes today when I was listening.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Howdy, Mr.
that thing's
DJ.
dumped.
What's up, everybody?
Me and Norm are just looking at Marketplace.
Yeah, they're crushing Marketplace as they do.
It's got a 4 or 5 Beltec lowering kit.
You want to put the links up?
Baby girl. For
Oh, I've seen
4SS.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah, that was been up. Give me that. I think that's the one that's been up for a little while.
those trucks are so bad, but I want
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that one's been up for a little bit. Thing's
The
super clean
The
looking.
It is.
454s.
The 454SSs are so cool, but
That
they're
guy
junk.
from
Yeah,
that
What's
was on
up?
what was that, Trucks or something like
I am
that.
back.
Yeah.
He's restoring one for Vice Grip Garage right now, and it is sick. It's got like an LS in it. They're doing a whole
Nice.
bunch of go.
I'm
fast
so happy I
parts.
don't have to do anything anymore. The Mayflower is landed.
Yeah, you
Let's
guys are
go.
missing some gold right
I'm
here.
seeing it.
What's going on, everybody? I am back. I'm a little in pain here, sitting in this chair. but
I
we
had a
will
feeling
fight
you
through.
were not going to be happy with
I mean,
whatever.
it's definitely not great.
I'm going to give you a big old pat on the back when we leave.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Good show, buddy.
Our buddy that was down at the convention with us 2 hours after completely forgot, had a few sodas
Oh,
and kept,
no.
hit me 7 times in the matter of an hour. I was like, okay, we're done here.
And you're still friends?
Not really. No.
I would have swung.
It was close.
Typhon.
Typhon?
Typhon.
Is that gold lettering?
It is. I've seen those black with the
Yeah,
gold
that's
lettering.
hot.
The Typhoons came in way more cool options. Like you could get them in colors.
Typhoon, you
Cy-
could?
Yeah, the Cyclones were all black, but the Typhoons came in like, I think I've seen them with like red with like silver cladding.
I don't
Like
think I've ever
so-
seen any
yeah.
other than black.
I've only
Look at
seen
this one.
black with red.
I've seen this. This is black with gold. I've seen that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, but I've only seen black bases.
I'm almost
Yeah,
positive.
I think I've only ever seen red lettering on the side though.
Dan's back on the cactus this week.
We turned the cactus off.
Levi, Daddy's back and hunched. Yeah, we're in a little bit of pain here. We did a little over 7 hours worth of tattooing on my back in one shot.
Just back shot,
So-
back shot, back shot,
Yeah.
back shot.
If you are a fan of Topics Under the Stairs, you will know Mr. Dan Brown. I was taking back shots from Dan Brown for 7 hours.
I'm glad you said it because Norm was going to say it.
Yeah, I had to just get it out of the way.
I just said it like 3 times.
Yes, GMC Typhoons were available in several colors besides black. Popular options included forest green metallic, radar
I've
blue,
seen a green one.
raspberry metallic, and bright teal.
I'm-
Other colors included frost white, apple red, garnet red, and royal blue metallic. But the most popular color was midnight black.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I
Other
think
than black?
the bright teal is a lie.
Dude,
I don't think it's bright teal.
Bright teal, a vibrant color. Only
Yeah.
132 were produced.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm thinking it was more
Is
like
there some coin?
Forest
like
green,
a dark, like the
forest green metallic. There's only 82 produced. Aspen blue, only 28 produced. Yo, find me a raspberry metallic one because only 3 of them were made.
Welcome to the GMC hour.
Sorry, we're talking about Typhoons and they're cool. Oh,
By
shit.
we, you mean you.
Radar blue, they only made 1.
So
radar.
so it wasn't
love.
available.
Yeah, it was available, but no one got it.
Yeah,
No, it
Rick
wasn't
Hendrick got
available.
it.
One person
Yeah,
ordered
Rick
it.
Hendrick probably. That's it.
Uh,
All right, Linky boys, that's what I was doing.
skin
Sorry.
color pants got me. Yeah, they're a little close, aren't they?
Kyle's expecting a flood.
Hot Rod Garage built a Typhoon. It's nasty and it's like olive drab green, like Tacoma green.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Like an
Yeah.
army green.
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh man, we're 2 away from 200. Talladega will be 200.
Look at that.
Talladega. Well, that's if we have an episode next week.
Why wouldn't we? They're going back to Rockingham.
I won't be.
Yeah, he's going to be in Jamaica.
Norm was so excited
Jamaica,
to not
right?
have
Yeah.
to drive down here. Why are you so lazy?
I am excited about Rockingham though.
Yeah, Rockingham will be back. We got plenty to talk about next week.
Yo, this week is officially Casey Kane Friday.
Holy shit, it's Casey Kane Friday.
It's officially Casey Kane Friday.
Where
this
did
week.
where did that meme come from?
Bro, that's just
The internet doing the
grew
internet.
up on the internet.
Yeah.
I think The only person in real life who's acknowledged it is Noah Gragson. Although I think Casey Kane said that he has seen it. But Noah Gragson's like making merch and stuff for it.
Bunch of dorks. Dad in the chat asking about the shoes. Yep. I don't think I've worn these ones yet.
I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so. Just some checkered
I'm
Vans.
still glad I put that idea in your head about your new shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was solid.
Kyle found some checkered Vans, and he's like, "These are sick." I'm like, "How about you save those, and those can be your like Saturday media shoes in the track?" And he's like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah. They're like those, they almost look like Dunks.
They look like
Vans?
I have them. I bought them in white when we went to Germany. They have the big V on the side of them. They're,
Yeah,
they're like
like a V
leather.
check
Aren't they
mark.
like mine are like leather? They're not.
Yeah.
They're
like a
so,
vinyl.
They are so comfortable.
Yeah, and
They're the most
comfy
comfortable.
cush.
They're the most comfortable Vans outside of those lightweight ones that I've ever had.
Yeah. Everybody, who's the guy on the right? That would be me, and I am back. How's the
happy
back?
they're not.
The back is not terrible. I expected it to be worse, but I have like that second skin sticker stuff.
Are you getting it colored in?
Yeah, which ran out of ability and tolerance after 7 hours.
7.5 hours, I'd get it.
Pussy.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as I thought, but the second skin stuff is like really tight. So like when I move, it like pulls on the sticker stuff. But other than that,
Yeah, because
not
that
terrible.
looked like
Could be
it.
worse.
Yeah, that looked like that stuff. How
Yeah.
how's that stuff? How like hard does that stuff stick? Like, does it like
The
peel off
second
like a
skin
Band-Aid, or is it like?
Oh, it peels off like hell.
yeah, I was gonna say that
Like,
probably
your
didn't-
skin comes like an inch away from your body while you're trying to peel it off. Like it sucks to get off.
Now, what
But
is
you
that?
don't have
Like
to do
it's like
anything.
a bandage you never have to replace kind
Right.
of thing?
Yeah,
So you put the second skin stuff on, it's like a clear sticker, and it stays on for 5 days, and then you peel it off and you just lotion, you're good. You don't have to deal with like the daily, antibacterial
and you put it on
washing.
too.
And
You
stuff
put it
like
on
that.
too if you're doing like I remember Steph's sister got one of her tattoos. I think it was the one she got on her arm, and like when we go to the lake, she put it on, like when we would be out on the boat.
Yeah, if it's in like during the healing process.
It
yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Is Steph all tatted up?
No, her sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
Her
thought you
sister
said
has like
Steph.
no. Her sister has like
Candy
three.
blasted.
She's got like 3 small ones. She's got
Yeah.
one on her arm. She's got like a little one behind her ear, and I think
I was
one
gonna
on
say
like
I
her
thought
ankle.
you and Steph were still going to heaven, so I was just.
I
making sure.
am because mainly because I haven't decided. I've said
I'm
it on
not.
Here, I've said it on here 100 times. I can't decide what I want for a tattoo, so I've never gotten one.
Bro, if I could just like snap my fingers and just have like 2 full sleeves,
Same, yeah.
and like somebody else make the decision for me, I'd live with it.
I mean, we could do that. There is ways to do that.
Yeah.
We know people.
AI exists now. You can do whatever you want.
Literally. Oh
Yeah.
my god! I think if you showed up to a tattoo artist with an AI freaking tattoo rendering, I think they'd kill you on the spot.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Facts.
Probably.
Like, you know how big of an insult that would be? Like, hey, Dan Brown, I know you've dedicated your entire life and profession into doing this, but
Oh,
Grok made this in 0.2 seconds.
Yo.
So
Yeah.
slap it on my body.
No thanks.
Spinelli in the Discord showing us what that raspberry typhoon looks like.
Yo, what? That is hot.
That's not a factory color.
How many of
Yeah.
those were made? 6?
That was not many.
That's that
Let me see.
3M
Three.
wrap, dude. That's
That
not
was
a
only,
factory
like-
color.
I don't know. He probably searched it. Joe,
Wow,
is that the
that
real
is-
one?
That is wild.
Yeah, this is one of this one. Now this says one of 2 radar blue. That one. That's the
Wow. I like the pink better.
I want the raspberry one.
dude.
by
That
the way.
raspberry one is fire.
Whoa. Loose.
That's crazy. That's a cool color. That literally looks identical to the 3M pink wrap
Yeah,
that everyone does.
That everyone was doing. Yeah.
Scroll up.
My
Scroll
Miata
down.
was about 5 minutes away from being that color.
Oh, okay. I just missed Block of taking another shot at me.
Yeah, you're getting all the shots after
Yeah, I'm getting-
after your day of back shots. What?
After not being here for 2 weeks.
You're getting all the front shots now.
All right. Well, want to do some off track?
I'm so happy you're back.
Thanks. I missed you too.
I miss Joe
That was-
Sanchez.
Sanchez,
There it is.
Sanchez fucking killed it last week. He did
Oh
a
my
great job.
God.
For him
I will
deciding-
say-
lost my mind at the Texas World.
I do apologize.
good.
We did a horrible job of like introing him to the
We did.
podcast.
you did
we
a
really did.
miserable job.
We didn't at all. He was just
No.
here.
I was like,
It's
this is Joe Sanchez.
There's
and
a
everyone was
third
like-
voice.
yeah.
So
And you
we
didn't let him
apologize
speak
to
at
Joe.
all, but it's okay.
That was him. He didn't know how to get.
That's
cut
always
in.
that's always how it is. I mean,
You have to.
I think
dive
we
in
got
when
the
you two
one-
get going.
the one exception sitting in the corner.
Yeah, especially on paints.
He
paint
went
day.
after. Well,
Yeah.
he got into it on paint schemes. He was
No,
involved.
no, he was fine. But yeah, paint days.
We'll just
an
we'll just
exciting
have him
day for
again.
everyone.
He'll just sit Indian style.
Yeah, I'm
in
still
the-
mad at you for missing paint day.
sit in the middle of the
Mad at
room.
myself for missing paint day. But what do you got for off track, Norm?
I didn't
go
do
last,
too
mine's long.
much. I will talk about our Lucis Fast Beer League that we had this weekend.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
'Cause
mad I missed it. Well, I'm
we
not mad. I had a
need
good
more
time. but-
people. And
yeah. We need more people.
I was pissed because I
So
mentioned it to
fun last
Dan
time.
as we got in. He's like, Kyle's not going to show up because he's all wore out from getting railed all
Whoa,
day.
I didn't know he was still in.
And I was like, dude, I'm like, we should have called Scumbag and had Scumbag log in on Kyle's computer so he could have played.
yeah.
Oh, true.
I was like, I thought of that after. I was like,
We were
like, it's
we
not
were
like he
in
can't
the
get
lobby.
into the house.
We were
Yeah.
in the lobby. We were like, damn it.
That
Yeah.
would have been cool. I would
Because
have told
for
him to
some
do it.
reason,
That'd have been sick.
I was
I would've done
convinced Scumbag had a PC now.
I do not.
He's
I-
he was like Scumbag's got iRacing, right? I'm like, no, he only has Heat. Like he
I've
doesn't
made
have-
that same
Yeah.
mistake like 3 times talking to him.
I don't know if I was confusing him with like Relum or something like that. But
No,
I was-
I because he got the wheel and posted it and stuff. And
Oh,
it was
okay.
For Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. But I was like, oh, Scumbag's going to join us, right? And he's like, no, he doesn't even have a computer. I was like, oh, we should have got him into Kyle's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
But we did have our little Lucis Fast party night. Smaller crowd than last
And
time.
we only had like what
Seven
seven
people.
Yeah,
I think I have the best average finish of all time.
yeah. Well,
I think I finished second in like every single race.
Kevin, we were saying you needed to be there. The first race we did was at Old Atlanta with
Steve, will
the.
you plug this in somewhere?
What is that?
over there?
Yep.
It's a portable charger,
Oh, okay.
but it's dead.
Oh,
actually, no. Never mind.
he got half out. Nice. We did Old Atlanta in the mini stocks,
Yeah.
which was like Talladega. The only reason I didn't get a good finish is because I got wrecked on like lap 2, and then it was me
Bro.
and the Joes were just drafting like 10 seconds behind you guys for the
So
rest
we
of
were
the
doing
race.
Old Atlanta in the mini stocks with fucking like we said 7 of us. So it's not like it was a huge crowd. But cautions were off for whatever reason. They didn't throw one. But I'm driving, I'm in the lead going into turn 2, and I look at my mirror and every single car behind me crashes.
Yeah.
And I just sail away into the sunset with 6 cars flipping over and rolling behind me. I think 3 or 4 of them, 3 I think got away pretty
It was
scot-free.
Ricky, Dawn, and somebody
Stopped
else.
my PP, I think was the third
Yeah,
one.
those were the 3 that ran you
And
down.
they were like 4 seconds behind me. So for about 10 laps, I just watched them like cut a 10th off a lap, 10th off a lap. And eventually they caught me with like 7 or 8 to go. We're battling. The 3 of them wreck again in my mirror. So I'm like, word.
Later.
Happened twice. I'm just driving by myself. I battled with them for a couple laps and I did a sweet crossover. And I think Ricky was behind me. And like we cleared the bottom, and I think Ricky cleared himself across Don's bumper. And
Yeah.
so it checked the 3 of them up. Wrecked, stomped my PP. He was out. But Don and Ricky survived. Took them another 2 or 3 laps to catch me. So for like the last 4 or 5 laps, it was me, Ricky, and Don just trading positions.
Nice.
And coming out of turn 4, I was in the lead. Ricky was behind me, and Ricky was timing that pass. Like he had all lap to do it, and he was saving it for out of turn 4. And I saw what he was doing. He kind of like pushed me up a little bit to try to get low. And so I cut down low to stop him from getting my inside. Well, he committed, drove onto the apron. We both tandem drift onto the apron. Don punts Ricky because Don's right on his bumper
Yep.
because the 3 of us were in a train. Spins Ricky out. I'm flooring it through the grass because I get sideways and save it. No idea where Don is. We crossed the line. He beat me by like half a car.
Yeah. It was sick. The
Oh.
replay was sick. And then me, Joe Soul, and Spinelli we're 10 seconds behind them in a line, just like praying that we can catch them. And then as soon as we took the white, it was like every man for themselves.
We're not catching
We crossed the line 3 wide. I nosed out the 2 of them by like not even a fender.
I
That's
watched. I
cool.
watched you guys replay. It was just like, all right, I guess fuck everybody. We're
Yeah.
not helping
It was,
anybody.
we were glued. Joe Soul was pushing my car. Spinelli's pushing him. We were glued, but it was like there wasn't enough of a draft. Like we would gain 2 tenths,
Yeah.
and then we'd fall back 2
It
tenths.
was
and
literally
then
the
we'd gain 2
finish
tenths.
to Atlanta last year that Suarez won, only for 90th instead of the win. It was just 3 guys side by side with no help.
Yeah. Oh, so funny.
So no one had an advantage. It was super fun. Then we did some Pro 2 trucks
Jumpy trucks.
at some
Ol-
track
Olton
in
Park.
Australia.
Yeah. Olton Park apparently doesn't exist anymore, I think.
I finished second in
pavement or
that
dirt?
race.
Pavement.
Pavement.
Nice.
I finished second in that race too.
I win.
These guys were all cheating assholes.
I didn't do the cut through once.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Me and you were not cheating. Everybody else, Joe specifically picks tracks that he was spending the entire practice session trying to find shortcuts that wouldn't penalize him.
Yeah.
And then he kept using them and everybody was using them. And then like Joe Soul should have won that race, but he's like, I got bored and let everybody by so I could race with you. And then I just led the rest of the race. Like
So I got a restart violation on the start because I put it into gear
we
and
did standing start.
my truck rolled a centimeter and I got a false start and they couldn't clear it. So I had to
Yep.
pit from the front. I was in first or second, had to pit from the lead on the first lap, drove through the pits, come out. I catch 2 people. I passed, stomped my PP. He was not good in these things. Not his forte.
I
The
love
old
these
jumpy
things.
trucks.
They're so much fun.
I passed Don, and me and Don were battling, and freaking Spinelli, or I think it was Spinelli, was just every single lap, we'd get to a certain point, he would just disappear. And then we'd get back on the front stretch, and he'd be 6 car lengths further
Yeah,
ahead.
he's cheating. He's a
So
cheater.
finally, he told me how to do it. He goes, just do it to catch up. So I did it. I ended up coming out third behind you and Joe Soul, and we just raced bumper to bumper for 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then
You tried.
all the guys in the back cut it in the last lap and got the leaders all screwed up. We were all crossed over. They ended up pulling out right in front of Joe Soul. He had to slam on the brakes.
No, they pulled out in front of me too. Me
You
and-
dove to the inside,
yeah.
lost just enough speed, and it was honestly like the perfect, like dive it in a little too deep.
Norm
Like
sent
Sammy
it.
Smith could have took notes
He sent it on
on
me.
what I did, but it was like clean.
It was
sent.
clean. It was clean.
Like I wasn't missing the corner if I didn't hit you, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
I just sent it in like 5 miles an hour extra, and got door to door with Dan, and we just kind of banged, and he cleared me right to the exit to the front stretch.
It was
So that
so
was fun.
Those are so much fun.
So I finished second both of those races, and then we went and did a yes 2 race. Real
I got
quick.
off. Yeah, I bailed out.
Um,
I bailed out.
Did you?
Well, we
Nice.
banged. We banged on the front stretch, and then I got
Then
off.
you got off?
Yeah.
He was done. Yeah,
Nice. You're
he's he's
hey,
old,
hey,
dude. He's,
NASCOM, how you doing?
he's
only
only,
got-
going to go 10 minutes
He's
into this
gotta go-
episode and find 5 things.
he's only got 1 session in him, dude.
Listen,
He doesn't have the
I had to-
stamina he used to.
I had to take a nap. All right.
So we do a yes
Did
2
that include
race.
crying?
I was crying during.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
I
say, I
just-
don't remember him crying too much.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't from pain. Um,
I
so
hated
we
it.
went and did a yes 2 race. We jumped in with those guys. There was only 5 or 6 of them. 4 or 5 of us joined, and I finished second in that race.
Wow,
too.
you're killing it.
Attaboy.
So I
Norm-
finished second all 3
Norm
races.
is
Big
the-
Bowman guy.
Norm is so good at like not conventional races. Didn't you win like
just low key
it's
hanging
like
out
the
top 5.
CTSVs at Loudon with
Yeah.
Lock City, or was
Yeah.
that whatever that was? Like,
Black.
Lost it.
Lost the camera.
You know what they say?
no.
Our cameras don't work good. Yeah, so I had some fun. I'm really good at like jumpy trucks, rally cars, and racing against people that have no experience. Those are I'd say my 3 strong suits.
Yeah, those are pretty good things.
Like put me in a race with all the meatheads from our Discord. I'm goddamn Mario Andretti out there. And then put Dan out there, and we're normally just neck to neck. Loudon, we were like 15 seconds ahead of the crowd.
Mhm.
Me and Dan are just bumper to bumper. I was like, I can't pass you. We're too close. And like he'd pull a little bit, I'd catch him. He'd pull a little bit, I'd catch him. It was like, all right, we can't do this.
The chat is going wild.
Yeah, we'd have Dan tell you his off track, but he's currently fixing our
Someone-
off camera.
Someone blew out Kyle's candles.
I'm refilling the whale oil later.
One if by land, 2 if by sea.
Norm, you gotta make it technical difficulties. Sign
You're
for
gonna
just-
need that often.
It would get overused. We're back.
It'll be
We're gone.
I need to buy a different one because this one is apparently
Jiggle
Yeah.
the handle. Jiggle the
It
handle.
works, and then it just doesn't. I swear to God.
We're back.
We gonna lose it?
We're back. We're gone.
No, because I can see the message on the screen that says it's not working. It comes back for like a second.
Yep. Wonderful.
They make a pill for that.
I'm gonna kill this. All right, I'm gonna unplug it for like 30 seconds.
Yep, that's worth a shot. We can always.
You did
set up
used to
another
work at
camera if
Best
we need
Buy.
to.
This is a professional IT support.
It is. I'm a geek. Call me geek squad.
Yeah, call Geek Squad.
Geek Squad.
That's guess that's what happens.
Norm, please
No,
smile.
let's
So I
get
can
into
see.
your off tracks.
Well, I guess we could. Yeah.
Bro, Tyler Page, no lie, I am like what is that, 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm only 1 degree away from John Cena. So it could possibly happen.
Yeah.
See the commercial with him?
Which one? He's in every commercial ever.
He's going to shoot like a skincare commercial, and he shows up.
Oh,
and no
yeah.
one can see him, and he's like, "Guys, it's a bit. I'm right here." And they're like, "John Cena didn't show up again.
He's
It was
big
okay."
timing us.
Yeah.
I love John Cena. He seems like such a genuinely nice person.
I love that he does the Honda commercials. He's the voice of
Yeah.
every like Honda
Well,
radio
he was
commercial.
Ford, and then he got into a tiff with Ford because I think he ordered one of the new GTs when it first came out, and he was a spokesperson for Ford.
Mhm.
And I don't think he literally fit in it, so he secondhand sold it as soon as he got it, for obviously for a marked up price because
Yeah,
they were
of
super
course.
hard to get. And Ford lost their shit at him
Back
because
for
of
now.
that. Him and like 3 other people did it.
Yeah.
So they thought he was doing it to try to make a quick buck. He's like, no, I didn't fit in the thing. I bought it and I couldn't drive it, so I got rid of it.
Yeah. It's understandable.
But he daily drives a freaking
Type R.
Honda Type R.
Yeah.
He's
He's
really-
awesome.
Guys, if we attack them at night, we have an advantage. Kyle won Christmas Eve during the Revolutionary War.
All
All right, we're back.
Well, I guess I'll get into my off track. We'll do this because I was gone for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was a long time. I was home for like 4 days in between.
Yeah, because you guys went to Florida.
Yeah. So
You got home what?
got-
Friday?
got home on a Wednesday.
Or no, it was Wednesday, yeah.
And then flew back out Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. So I went to Miami and then to the Keys with my wife. Took some time off in between. now the new job. Took some time off. Got down there. As I told some of you guys, actually went down. Landed on Friday. Had no idea that it was Ultra Weekend.
Yeah, we
The
talked
old-
about this, I think.
That-
Yeah.
I haven't talked about it on the show.
I thought we did.
I think you've been on the show since
Oh,
Florida.
No,
We
I'm
talked
not
about
since
it
Florida.
before
We talked
Florida.
about going to
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
Yeah. So we got there Friday. We went out Friday night, which was awesome. Went to like this little outdoor rave thing. If you've never been to Miami during Miami Music Week, every outdoor venue, if it's a park or anything, just they put stages everywhere and all around the city. There's just random shows constantly.
Yeah.
So we went and saw Cascade's little section. So he picked curated his own DJs and had their whole setup. So we were there till like 4 a.m. No idea who I think
Dude,
I am.
I woke up the next morning and saw your guys' Snapchat stories or Instagram stories. And
Yeah.
I was like, I like called Steph over. I'm like, Steph, look at who Kyle thinks he is.
I know, right?
Because
I was like,
he timestamped it. Or no, one of them you didn't.
yeah.
But I saw that you had put it up like 4 hours ago. And I'm like doing the backwards math in my head. I'm like, bro, that's like 4 a.m.
Yeah. I have no idea who I think I am, but I used to do that and don't do that anymore. But
Well,
it was fun.
Well, you had
And
help.
I've done
you
it
had help
twice
back then.
in 2 weeks.
You had
Yeah.
help. You
Right?
had help back then.
Yeah. This is a good point.
Mr.
Sorry,
Worldwide.
allergies are getting to me.
Yeah. It's allergy season.
You guys talking
Sorry.
about drugs?
No.
No, never.
Oh, okay.
So we did Miami for a night and a day and a half, I guess you wouldn't call it that. Then we went down to the Keys.
Jealous.
Did you drive down during the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 What
I
did you get?
do the norm.
I never asked you this. What did you have for a car?
Got a Benz E-Class convertible.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Thing was
Did you
sweet.
drive
Not
over
as-
the bridge with the top down?
Yeah.
Not as good
my
as the Boxer.
boy.
The Boxer was peak.
Boxster was a
because
was a
then you could
peak.
say, mine Porsche.
I played that song instantly as soon as I
I
got in
remember
that.
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Bow, bow.
Bow, bow, bow,
I
bow.
was driving way too fast.
in my-
Sorry, officer.
Porsche,
I
some-
forgot. I thought that was on the
What's the
Autobahn.
Autobahn?
Is there something I can do for
Beat
you?
on by the name,
It's a great song.
Bro,
It
I
is. It's
saw-
actually a
I
but I wanted
saw-
to try something different, so I got this Benz, and thing was sweet, but poorly cared for. Had like 60,000 miles on it, which is not much, but the steering wheel was trash.
Was it Turo?
Like I don't know who was Yeah, it was
Oh,
Turo.
okay.
I don't know who was holding it at 10 and 2 and just squeezing it and just rubbing their hands on it until all of the steering wheel came off. It was smooth and the tan was gone. But the thing was mint otherwise. So we went down, we stayed in Key Largo, which is like the first big one.
Yes.
Stayed at a resort there, which was super nice. Like off the backside of the hotel was like a little beach. There was one section that was like the family friendly section. And then the other section was like the quiet
Topless?
one. Yeah, I wish. But it was like all these trees on the sand. So like if you sat in the sand, you weren't in the sun. You're under the tree
Yeah,
cover. And then you
that's the-
walk out the trees into the water. It
That was the
sick.
picture I got while I'm knee deep in sanding my second bedroom and wanting to kill myself. I get a bing, phone goes off, and it's Kyle holding a beer in the shade looking at the ocean. And
Yeah.
I almost jumped out the window.
Yeah, that was awesome. Much needed relaxation there. Best part, sitting there having the beer right after I texted you. Sitting there having a beer, and I just hear, oh, I'm like, is there a helicopter going on? That's like a really quiet and slow helicopter.
Did Fortunate Son start?
It did after I saw that it was the Goodyear blimp.
Yo!
Goodyear blimp just goes cruising right above me.
I wonder what was in.
And I go running into the water like a 2-year-old with my phone. Like,
I
taking
wonder what
videos.
was around there that would be.
I have no idea.
Like maybe something in Miami. Maybe was it at Ultra? Like
I guess it could have been.
Could have
yeah,
been,
because
yeah.
that was on Sunday.
Sunday.
Which worked out mint because there was a bunch of rain that went through Miami. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the MotoGP was in Talladega, weren't they? They weren't at Daytona.
Daytona's way further north.
Yeah, Daytona's
Yeah,
way
so that
north.
wouldn't have mattered. But
Right,
when
but it's closer than Talladega.
we stayed in Key Largo and then decided we were going to drive all the way down to Key West and like check out all of them all the way down and all the way back.
Kyle, alas, a Zeppelin.
Nice. So when we drive down to Key West, we did Key West for the day and then drove back. When we were
How
down,
sick is Key West though?
oh, it's so bad.
It's such a
I
cool.
love it.
It's such a cool.
Never
town.
been.
Also, when I wanted to see where you guys were, so I saw you were in Key West. I was creeping around at the map.
Yeah.
Southernmost point is not the southernmost point. That's bullshit.
no,
There are other parts that are more south.
yeah, southernmost reachable point.
The southernmost bullshit. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, but I think it's also like the closest point to Cuba. I think is the whole point of it.
maybe. But then they should call it that, not the southernmost point.
Yeah, but so we went down there obviously for the day, and that was great, and then cruised back. But when we went down to Key West, it was pouring in Key Largo and Miami.
So you guys timed it
And then
perfectly.
when we went back and spent the day on the beach the next day, it was raining in Key West, and we were out of it. So we
Nailed it.
avoided it like perfectly. So yeah, it was great. We drove the whole way down with the top down, having a great time. We stopped at like this little like aquarium type place, but it's
Mhm.
really just an inlet
Yep.
that they like rehab animals at, which was really cool, and tons of fishes and shit like that. It was super cool.
Fish.
So we're going back and forth, get lunch, grab a beer, keep going, whatever. And then we get to Key West, like our destination for the day, and we're already sunburnt. Like,
Uh-huh.
shit.
Uh-huh.
Yep, made that mistake in a convertible
Made
before.
that mistake in a
Yeah.
cabrio multiple times.
You would think that we'd be good at it, seeing as we own
a
convertibles.
cabrio
Oh,
and
no,
yep.
made that mistake, but that was a blast.
I
What
did
else?
that on the way down to Tennessee one year going to Tail of the Dragon. Car with no AC, windows down the whole
Cooked
time.
the arm.
I had the arm out the window. I mean, we were talking
Yeah.
16-hour drive. We got to Tennessee and I looked. We were bringing our stuff in from the car. I looked at myself in the mirror and it was like, I am half man. Like this side of my face was burnt. My left arm was burnt.
Harvey
I was
Dent.
like, what are we
Where's
doing?
Two-Face?
Yeah. So yeah, that was an absolute blast. Came back for a couple days and then flew down to Texas for the new job.
Tejas.
Yep, I was down in Dallas. Not a whole lot to write home about, but I do have one massive complaint. I got screwed.
Was it that sad, sorry excuse for barbecue that
Yeah,
you got?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That was,
Absolutely miserable. I have a huge bone to pick with this place. So
well, there was no bones in it.
yeah, good point. Texas barbecue, right?
I mean, you think barbecue, you think like what? Nashville, like Tennessee,
Memphis.
Texas,
Yeah.
Memphis,
Carolina.
Carolina, Kansas City.
But you're in Texas,
Texas.
like
Yeah, I'm going to Texas. I want some grass-fed beef.
I
you know
want,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Right.
you want barbecue
so.
like what we got in Coda.
Yeah, hotel I'm staying at is right next to the Toyota Music Factory.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
music
did you
venue.
go there? I didn't get a million pictures of that.
Yeah, exactly. So they have like kind of a what we call Patriots Place,
Mhm.
like a little plaza outside of the music venue with a bunch of restaurants and bars and shops and shit like
And
that.
tundras everywhere.
Everywhere. There was 6 trucks on display.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's like a little courtyard in the middle, and there's a bunch of restaurants around it, and they kind of empty into the courtyard, so you can get a beer and then walk out. They have music,
Yep.
TV, and it's a cool little spot. So there's a barbecue place there. I'm like, sick. Go to a barbecue place, you get the tray, you get 2 sides, 2 meats,
Sample.
bread, whatever the sample tray. Yeah. Worst.
Dude, the picture you sent us could've-
Worst.
The picture you sent us, I thought was in black and white.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
because
needed
that-
to get
that-
a drink of water after seeing it.
Yeah,
it
same.
was awful. The smoked turkey was legitimately refrigerator cold. The brisket I got was a horrible cut. It was literally all fat. The elote I had 1 bite of. It was like a good sized cup. Had 1 bite, couldn't finish it. Trash. Tastes like it had gone bad. And then the beans were the highlight of it. It was
That's not good.
miserable. So I got screwed going to Texas and got it.
That's like when you see
like
like the
how are you in business in Dallas?
like the
Texas?
Instagram short videos of people that are like classy dining establishments
Mhm.
and them like serving up food and stuff like that. Like, dude, fuck that place. Get me to Cracker Barrel right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Give me some
So-
Texas Roadhouse, dude. I will eat that
I was
over
real
that
upset
barbecue
about
you had.
that. But redemption came the next day. I went to this little taco place that was on the opposite side of it. 9 out of 10. I got like the 3 tacos. I'm like, give me 1 of each. was like, you know what? Run it back. Give me one of each again.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
I
do that
did the
again.
plate of 3
Sorry,
twice.
I
You
couldn't-
were me at Coda with the churros with cream in them.
Yeah, I
I'm
went
gonna
back.
need another one. I'm gonna need
Well,
another
sitting at the
one.
bar, they had like a
Keep my
garage
tab
door
open, Chief.
style. You know, the sick garage door style. Where you
Yes.
sit outside. So I was like, of course, I'm sitting outside. It's like 80 degrees. Perfect. Like, yeah, just run it back.
Dude, where were you? Where were you? Toretto's, dude.
Yeah,
Felt like it. It was awesome. So that was redemption.
Tuna no crust.
And then flew back from Texas on Friday, hopped in my truck, already had a bag pre-packed, shot straight down to Mohegan Sun for the weekend.
for those that don't know, Mohegan Sun is in Connecticut. That is a casino.
Yes.
That's the only thing Connecticut's good for is the 2 casinos, Foxwoods and Mohegan
And
Sun.
you can open drinking cars.
as
Yes,
a passenger,
as a
yeah.
passenger, yes.
Yeah.
Which is wild because
I-
everything
I
else
s-
they are horrible about.
I remember the first time going down there with a buddy to a car show. We were all in his Plymouth. There was like 5 of us in his like 50. It was Benji Day.
Yeah.
And we all had a beer ready at the state line. The second we crossed the state
Yeah.
line,
Awesome.
Yeah, we
Awesome
went down
role.
for a bachelor party, and we, like 15 minutes into Connecticut, my buddy's like, "Wait, is this? Hold on!" And he's like, "It is one of the states. Pass me a beer." like,
Nice.
like, pass you a beer? You insane? He goes, "It's legal here."
yeah.
I think about it every time we're driving to Pocono, but I'm like, we still got a long way to go, and I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
And Connecticut-
we're getting too
Connecticut's
old.
got bad memories too. So
Yeah, we haven't
Like I
had real
said,
good
I
luck
went
in
down
Connecticut.
a couple weeks ago with my sisters, and I was like, we were at the gas station. I was like, I could get a beer right now. And that'd be sick.
if anything,
They're
you
like,
should just
"What?"
do a ceremonial beer as we go through Danbury.
Yeah, just out the window, just
Didn't get me
crushing
again,
it.
bitch.
Yeah,
I
I
will
would
black
again.
out for the second time in Danbury.
Well done.
Well done.
But yeah, shot down to Mohegan Sun, the casino for the weekend. Did Friday night, Saturday night. Stayed with our good friends Dan and Kay. If you are listeners of Topics Under the Stairs, you'll absolutely know who they are.
Yep.
They are the best people ever.
the greatest,
So
the
was
greatest
the-
human beings.
Was the
Yeah.
convention in the casino?
Yeah,
Yeah, they have a
the
big convention center down there.
Damn,
It's
so,
badass. So there's
So
like,
were you getting absolutely juiced with oxygen while you're getting that tattoo?
yeah.
Nice.
Well, no, the convention center's not pumped. I think it's only the casinos are. But yeah, so we went down Friday night, got there pretty late. Probably got there like 11, and we were out until 4,
Again,
cruising around the casino, feeling great.
Steve.
Scumbag got the build error message that I can't ever get away from, apparently. Had a great time Friday night. Stayed up a little too late, but we
You?
had fun. Got some 4 a.m. Krispy Kreme. Dan and I crushed probably 10 of them.
oh, that's good.
We just murdered them.
Oh, what do we get? Papagenos? Is
And
there
then-
Papagenos or Sabaros or something?
Then we went to
That's
Johnny
open
Rockets.
24/7.
Johnny
Couple-
Rockets is great.
Couple 3:30 a.m. dogs, and then went to bed. Saturday is the reason I'm in pain. Saturday, Dan and I tattooed. Well, by Dan and I tattooed, I didn't do shit. I laid on my
You
stomach
laid
for
there.
7 hours.
Yeah.
We tattooed my back. Did a little over 7 hours on my back piece
Oh,
during the convention. Sat for like probably 4 and 3 hours collectively, with a break in the middle.
oof.
It was a marathon. We got lots of compliments. Him
How-
for his work, me for being a champ.
How long is the coloring going to take?
Probably about 2 hours left.
I was saying coloring's not.
Oh
as
no,
bad
well,
as
the hard
line
part's
work.
done by
Yeah.
a long shot.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We were trying to keep going. I didn't do any numbing cream or anything like that, but yeah, at the 7 hour mark, I was hurting and he was hurting.
I'm sure he's exhausted by
Yeah.
that point.
Well, he's going back and forth, ink me, and then he's like, you know what? Screw this. And grabs a little glob of the jelly, puts it on my back, and puts the ink cup right in the middle of my spine, and started moving twice as fast because
Yeah.
he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's just zzz, keep going.
Yeah.
Zzz, keep going.
But that's like got to be. I mean, obviously, I've never tattooed a human being, but I'm sure that that's mentally exhausting because
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to be spot on.
Yeah, and he's doing this for 7 hours.
Yeah,
he's leaned over.
You got to
me.
focus on your pressure and
Bro, my
Yeah.
hand
You're
cramps up when I'm
done.
edging a fucking that'll be my off topic, but the paint in the room.
Yo,
I do
NASCOM,
one
clip
wall.
that.
Facts. I do one wall and my hand cramps up from holding a paintbrush.
From
so I
edging?
couldn't
Somebody send him the
imagine.
timestamps.
From edging.
Yeah,
Your hand
you know all
cramps
about
up?
it. I did it to you in the camper.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. You don't remember?
I finished.
yeah.
We drugged you. That's right.
So yeah, long day of tattooing. Get right on the beers. Went to this place, Game On, which is kind of like a Dave and Buster's type thing.
Yep.
Got some food, played some games, went to the club, danced my life away.
With a fresh back tattoo.
Only got bumped into like 15 times. It
It's
was-
okay, dog, because in the club we all fam.
Yeah,
I did
exactly.
that when I got my. This was
Had
in
a
my.
great time.
This was in my heavy drinking stage. But when I got my appendix out,
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy convince me to go to the bar like a day and a half later. I think maybe 2 days later. I was bored as hell. Like I was
Yeah.
just sitting on the couch, but I still had stitches in my stomach and everything. And He's like, dude, we'll just go. We were going to some like dive bar, not like a, not going dancing. We're not doing that. We're just going to hang out and have a couple beers. I'm like, yeah, all right. We're there 10 minutes and somebody walks by and just like trying to squeeze by me and elbowed me right in the stitches. And I'm like, I almost passed out. I was like, this is not going to go
I
home.
wasn't doing shit after I got my appendix out.
So we
I was bored.
did the club stuff on Saturday, had an absolute riot of a time. Sunday, actually got to cruise around the convention, check out some shit, bought some merch. So if you've ever been to if you've never been to a tattoo convention, highly recommend.
The one in Manchester, we went and hung out with Dan and Kay. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the night, the story, if you listen to Topics Under the Stairs, when they went to Red Arrow Diner after, and the guy had the giant like snowball of cocaine. And they were like, what is happening at the table next to us?
Nice.
Even that one, it's a small one, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like we had a great time just walking around, looking at all the different artwork and stuff.
Tons of art, tons of merch, cool shit. So if you've never been, highly recommend it. But we had a riot of a time, and got home pretty late last night. Got back like 9, and
Here we are.
Here. So
here we are.
sorry I missed you guys. You guys did an awesome job without me.
We did
so
okay.
Bang up job.
We
for
did
sure.
aight.
I have some callbacks though. We'll get
Okay.
into 'em.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get
Yeah,
into
we're
'em.
not there yet.
not there. We have
Dan,
to
you
start.
got an off track before we actually do a show?
I mean, a little bit. Obviously, if you're in New England, you know what we're going through. This weather whiplash is killing me. I woke up to 6 fucking inches of snow in my yard on Saturday morning, and it was gone by Sunday afternoon. But I had that moment of like, why do I live here? I need to move. This is stupid. But this string of, I think it's been 3 bad weekends in a row.
Oh, it's awful, dude.
But it's actually worked out in my favor because we've gotten a ton of shit done around the house, and there's no like temptation to go outside. Like if it was today, if today was Saturday when we were supposed to be working on the house, I would have been like, nah, we're going outside. Like fuck this. We're not wasting a nice day.
Yeah.
So with us having, like I said, I think it's been 3 Saturdays in a row that have been hot garbage. Like last week, we snuck out on Sunday and played some golf because it got nice in the afternoon. But outside of that, the last 3 weekends, both days have been trash. So we've gotten a lot done on the house. We did the last room that we needed to really finish this weekend. The small little mud
Flooring
room.
looks good.
The small little mud room when you walk in.
How bad
we-
was it to do it in that little cove?
We haven't finished that yet.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 2 closets, and we were working on it. And we did it in like, it only took us like 4 hours yesterday, but we got to the closets, and it's the last piece of that row that has to click in, but you also have to get it underneath the baseboards and shit.
Yep.
We fought with it for 45 minutes, and we were both done at that point. Because, you're on your fucking hands and knees for 4 hours doing flooring, and it's one thing, I see the guys on job sites at work that do it. That's what they do. Like they're used to doing flooring. They got all the right equipment. They got knee pads on. They're flying around throwing floor in. Well, when you don't do it all the time, my like hip and back still hurt today.
Yeah, it's just anything you do, you're using muscles
Yeah.
you're not used to.
So we got to that piece that was fighting with us. We got it almost in, and it just wouldn't go the rest of the way. We were done. She's like, I'm done. I will fucking finish it this week. I don't care. All we needed to do is get a picture of it for the insurance lady, because that whole debacle I think I told you about. So she just angled the picture so you couldn't see the closets weren't done.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think my dad does closets when he does flooring.
We weren't gonna, but we're there, so we're like, fuck it, we'll just do it. Now I'm regretting that choice. So, but we painted that room, got it all sorted out, did the flooring. So we're like pretty much done. We just got to do a bunch of trim shit now, like baseboards throughout the house and stuff. But
More
yeah.
edging, dude.
yeah, more edging. But
Your
yeah,
hand's gonna be killing
pretty
you.
productive. And then yesterday, I'm very happy that the 2 things. I'm happy that the race sucked, so I could watch the Masters, and I'm happy the Masters were on, so I didn't have to watch that garbage race.
Yeah.
I watched both of them. I had NASCAR on my phone. I had the Masters on the TV. And at one point, I don't think I looked at my phone for 45 minutes because I was like, nothing's happening. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, it was
runaway.
Rough.
So that was awesome. There was so much fun to watch that yesterday. I mean, that's the best day of the year is Masters Sunday. It's so sick. Roller coaster of a day, but it sucks when you look at that and it's like, oh, it's beautiful and springy in Georgia. Why is it not like that here? I'm angry.
Feel like we're finally getting there.
This week looks sick.
Yeah, it does look nice.
But yeah, and then worked on a house that wasn't mine on Saturday. So my sister-in-law bought a condo and she closed on it last week. So we helped her
Oh,
move.
congrats.
She's not moving in yet, but like we went up there with 2 trucks of stuff. We were like, oh, we haven't seen the place.
Yeah, get set up.
So we helped her move some stuff up there. And all of a sudden I'm changing a light fixture and hanging bathroom
Is
accessories.
she done at college?
Yeah, she graduated last year. She graduated
Oh,
last
no
year. I was giving her shit because she's like, oh, can you put this like towel ring in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, that's essential to move in. You need a towel ring in the bathroom. She's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but if she's not moving in right away, might as well like do
Yeah,
all the
we're doing all that
knick-knacky
stuff.
setup
Yeah.
stuff, make
Yeah.
life easy.
They're
when you get
demoing the
there.
kitchen there. She's putting a new kitchen in it and stuff.
Oh
And
shit,
so,
that's awesome.
But yeah, so I was
Having
working
that flexibility is awesome.
Yes. So I was working on all sorts of houses that were mine and not mine this weekend. So
Nice.
yeah, it
Scummy,
was.
what do you
bad.
got over there? Anything? I
Not
know you
much.
got an exciting week coming up.
Yeah, coming up is gonna be nice, but nothing. Just packing, getting everything ready, like the house ready, Clyde shit ready.
Ready for what? Tell the people.
Going to Jamaica, baby.
Woo!
This time tomorrow, This time next week, I will be absolutely blackout drunk, probably. In my swim up room.
Scumbag's the only guy that goes to Jamaica and stops smoking.
I mean,
I'm gonna be drunk.
I mean,
Really?
I land on 420, so I'm sure I'll find something. But yeah,
Yeah, you
ironically,
get there and you watch Cool Runnings is what you do.
Yes.
Great movie.
it's not legal down there.
Cool
What?
Runnings?
Marijuana.
Oh.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, it's decriminalized, but it's not legal.
Oh, so it's like New Hampshire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
best
You'll
part,
find it.
Drugs are bad.
taking a catamaran to
Ooh.
Margaritaville.
No way.
Yeah, there's a slide and like a water park and shit down
Hell
at the
yeah.
bottom of it. Yeah.
I expect all the videos and photos.
Oh, you will.
Hell
Steve's,
yeah.
Steve's gonna get kicked out.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
went
Yeah,
to
100%.
the first Margaritaville, the
Yeah.
original.
Oh, the one in Key West? Yeah.
Nice.
So it's Duval Street, which is like
Mhm.
their Bourbon Street, basically in Key West. And Jimmy Buffett is sang about everything in Key West. Like that's his big thing. Also walked by Junior's house. Fun fact.
Oh,
I was
did you?
literally getting
Yeah.
on
That's
that.
cool.
I went
Did you
looking
see
for it.
Junior's house?
Yeah, someone's in there. Someone was in there watching TV. It's not his house anymore. He sold it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did get rid of that.
Yeah, he
Yeah, because
sold it.
didn't they buy a place? I think they bought a place in like Carolinas. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where he's been going when he does the podcast remote. They're
Yeah.
usually at their Carolina house.
The Key West house is beautiful, and it is so nicely placed. Like
Yeah.
where Duval Street is, like where all the happening restaurants are. He's like right at the beginning of it, and he's like 2 blocks away, so he's just far enough away from it that it's like the craziness
How'd you
wouldn't
find it?
spill over. Just looked it up because I knew he put it up for sale, so I looked
Oh,
up the
okay.
address and just walked up.
Got it.
So someone's in there watching.
Right.
TV.
I'm sure that was amazing for 20, 30-year-old Dale Jr., but
50-year-old
50-year-old Dale Jr. with 2 kids and his wife and stuff like that, maybe being right off the strip isn't the best.
Yeah,
he
no,
had it up
no,
until
he-
recently.
Yeah.
They redid it. He did it with Amy.
Yeah.
The two of them are the ones that did. I think they already had the girls at the time.
Yeah, but it doesn't last long.
Yeah, it's
They weren't
But,
going
like,
there as much.
it's a perfect spot to be away from the craziness, but you can also go there if you want to. But
Yeah.
it's like chill during the day. It gets a little rowdy on the weekends.
It's
at
like
night,
our
but-
it's
Right,
like
well,
our
they
spot
have-
at Loudon. We can go to the crazy, but then when we want to go
yeah,
back to
it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
but
well,
anyway,
they have
that was cool
their
to see.
spring break weekend down there. Their,
Yeah.
their
Big
version
time.
of Mardi
I
Gras.
remember was Duggar
a
on
lot
the show?
more drag shows down there than I expected to see in Key West.
I'm not. No, that's normal
Like
down there.
like signage, like drag show tonight. Next, like 2 bars down, drag show tonight. Like a bunch of them.
yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't think they could get a quarter mile of concrete out here.
Where's the button?
What do you want?
Give me just a.
Oh, you want the
You know, wah, wah.
Yeah, well, it's been 5 minutes.
Yeah, so there it is. Yes, Carter Upley. I was just going to bring that up when they surprised they were like, "We're going to Key West right now," and he's like, "What? What? All right." We reminded Kyle there was buttons.
Yeah. So yeah, the first Margaritaville was
my
cool. So you're
thing
going to a
stopped
new
working?
Margaritaville. Stoked. So you're taking a catamaran to the Margaritaville?
Yeah, and then there's like a sunset cruise.
Fuck yeah. Sick.
Yeah, it's like
That's gonna be awesome.
6
Well,
or
have
8
fun,
hours.
brother.
Yeah, it'll be
So we don't have you again next week?
fun. Yeah, next Monday I will not be here.
Damn, it's got to be a 50% show ratio.
Yo, what do you mean?
Bro, you missed 2
Every
straight
other.
weeks.
Yeah,
He's been here.
I've missed 1 week.
Yep.
About to be 2.
Yeah, but it's a planned vacation.
Yeah,
You
Kyle.
didn't take that up with HR
Yeah,
before we hired
Kyle,
you.
Kyle texted us on Sunday night. I've got good news and bad news. I have to go to. This is after he missed the week before. I have good news and bad news.
Well, the first one was planned. The second one, not so much.
It was planned, but none of us knew the plan. We
It
were
was
still
planned,
talking on
like,
Monday.
it was only like a week in advance, though.
yeah.
It was a late plan. It was your idea.
And then he texts us on fucking Sunday night. So I have good news and bad news. And I'm like, motherfucker. I knew what was coming. I was
Yeah.
like,
I got a
this
job
son
in
of a-
Texas.
You guys
I
did
leave
great.
tomorrow. Like, oh, sick, dude.
Yeah, so that happened. That happened fast.
Yeah.
Like, you be in Texas Monday. I'm like, you booked a flight, I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's like, dude,
But
I
now
gotta
you just
talk
get
to
to
my
be-
pilot.
But now you get to be Mr. Mom and just stay home all day.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Do so much laundry. Anyway, that's all I get. You wanna talk about some NASCAR? I guess
Not
How often
really.
are you doing laundry?
pretty often.
Like more than once a week?
I do it.
No.
I do it once a week.
Yeah,
Once
okay.
a week tops.
Yeah,
Sun-
say.
Sunday night is laundry night.
I own one T-shirt. I wash it every night.
Yeah. How often do you wash jeans while we're on it?
Once a week. I do my laundry every Sunday night.
No, like how many times will you wear a pair of jeans before you put them
As
in the wash?
many as needed.
I'd say 2 days.
I don't care.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'm probably more like a 4.
Yeah, 3
I'm
or
a
4.
solid 4 to 4, like somewhere between 3 and 5, depending
Yeah.
on how many times I've
I
worn
think
them.
2's the most.
Behind
Shorts
that
I'll
wall
wear.
is my closet. So I
Yeah.
have like hangers, like hooks on the wall. So like if I'm in process of wearing said pants, I put them back on the hook. They're good for a couple days.
Good for a couple.
But I
days.
usually have like a black pair and a blue pair in rotation at the same time. So I'll go like all week.
Yeah,
and
pants
just
to
switch
me,
between
pants
those
and
two.
shorts to me do not have a limit. Shirts though, I wear it once and it's going in the hamper. I'm done.
Yeah, upper half for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Boxers, I go a solid like 10 days. I mean, what?
Yeah, you flip them inside out. They're good for twice as
Turn
long.
them around.
Yeah,
You guys wear those?
Wait, you guys wear those?
it's like socks too. You flip them inside out, put them back on.
Bro,
God.
all of my work socks. So I have like black, not the really low ones, but I have like the ankle socks for especially when I wear shorts in the summer. I think they sent out a memo to each other that they were all going to blow apart at the same time. I found one like 2 weeks ago with a hole in it. I'm like,
You stop
"God damn it."
shoving them in your mouth. You won't have that.
I was like,
problem.
damn it. And then I found another one with a hole in it. And then it was like by the end of that week, I was digging through my sock drawer that I just I washed them and put them away. I'm like, that's got a hole in it. That's got a hole in it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, did they just all self-destruct at the same moment?
You,
See, the second I feel one of my socks getting thin,
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
rip it in half.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, because if not, I will throw this in the laundry and I'll put it on again and I'll be like, oh, that's freaking annoying. I can feel my shoe.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Yep.
worse when you put that pair on. You're like, this is getting close,
Uh-huh.
and then you're out somewhere and you blow a toe
Yeah.
through the sock.
Well, that happened to
and
me.
you're stuck like with your toe getting
Dude,
choked for 4
That's what
hours.
happened
you
to
know?
me at
Sticky
Daytona
big
last
toe?
year. Yes, that's what happened to me at Daytona last year, or when we were down there because I was wearing the brand new NASCAR Crocs.
Yep.
So they were super the
I remember
nubbies.
that.
I blew out like 4 pairs of socks
I
because they
remember
were
that, yeah.
already starting to get thin. And then I wore them in the brand spanking new fresh Crocs all weekend. And like, I
That are
ruined.
like inverted golf shoes.
Yeah, I ruined like 4 pairs of socks that weekend.
Dude, I went for a while where I was literally wearing like a brand new pair of socks every day. Dude,
Yeah.
heavenly.
How's it feel to be rich?
Dude, it was heavenly.
But what's Carter Ropley saying here in the chat?
He's just, I don't know, rambling.
my
he said his
chat's-
buddy invited him to a drag show. Those are great times. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Oh, yeah.
They're like drag brunches, wild. The amount of energy in those places,
Speaking of
nuts.
shows, I am excited to take you drag racing.
What a transition. That
I
was
forgot
solid.
that you didn't come with us last year.
I've never been.
You've never been to an NHRA
No.
event.
No.
I got to talk to Pops because he will be. My dad grew up at New England Dragway, so he'll be excited to go.
All right, you want to do a show, seeing as it's going to be a fast one.
You think?
I mean, there's
Yo, let's
light.
let's
No.
Did
pop
you guys talk about
epi.
John and Hendrick
No.
last week?
We only talked about Shiggy,
Okay.
and it was briefly,
Okay.
and I didn't remember his first name. I didn't remember how to pronounce it. I've been corrected. But no, we did not talk about him because I don't think that had happened yet.
Yeah, that was midweek.
It was
Okay.
after, yeah. Like
yeah, that hadn't
Wednesday.
happened yet.
Okay.
Hey,
cool.
chat, how's the video delay? How we looking?
We doing all right? I mean,
Before
no
we-
one said it
No
yet.
one's
So I
Hey,
complained
look at
about
this.
it yet.
Let me know how that goes.
Oh, I was dying laughing at you yelling at everybody with the
We were
the
trying.
thingy,
We were
the
trying.
Yeah.
movie thing.
What? Trying
I-
to tell everyone what a clapper was?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no one understood?
Apparently, you and I are the only ones that knew.
Okay.
I thought he meant like the lights turn on,
Yeah, clap on.
clap off the
All right,
clapper.
let's. That's what you gave me.
No, that's the clap.
Oh no,
That's
You
herpes.
weren't good enough for the guys, Kyle's not here again for the third week in a row.
I'm back.
Oh, he is here. Crap.
I'm here. Welcome back, me and everyone else, to yet another episode of the Loose Fast Podcast. Your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I am back in the seat. I'm Kyle Belcher, joined as always by Daniel Walker,
Hi.
Norman Pelletier,
Konnichiwa.
and on the ones and twos behind the desk, Mr. Scumbag Steve.
I got 2 tickets to paradise.
Ooh. Don't sing ever again.
And we're taking his mic privileges away.
Yeah, that mic is now no longer going to be plugged in.
That was good. We'll give you that one. That was
I
pretty
won't.
good. On today's episode, we will talk a little bit of NASCAR news. We will, I guess, talk about Bristol.
I don't want to.
We will have some fun along the way, answer some questions at the end, and all that. That is this fantastic podcast. But before we get into it, Dan, pay the bills.
Oh, crap. I got to do this again.
Yeah, you're back.
We are brought to you this week by the Revival Motoring Network and us here at the Loosest Fast Podcast. Head on over to the losestfastpodcast.com. Go buy yourself some merchandise. I know some people have taken us up on that. We've been getting pictures of people getting some shirts.
Yeah.
And apparently the quality is 10 of 10 on the shirts. I know Pepper said the license plate was sick. He said
And
that was dope.
we are going to redo the koozies for
Yeah,
people that
the-
have got koozies.
Yeah, the koozies, the soft
they're kinda
koozies
meh.
apparently aren't the best quality.
Which is crazy. This is the first we're hearing about it because that was literally like the first thing Kyle put on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know W did get one of the hard koozies, the metal koozies, and he
Yeah.
said it was fucking rad.
Yeah.
Shout out to W for paying for that because those things are freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Nothing I could do about
So
that.
go grab yourself
Yeah, those
some.
things ain't cheap.
Go grab yourself some merch. Help us keep the lights on in
Yeah, do
Kyle's
that.
house. Other ways you can help us out non-monetarily, you can go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We have one. We have a new one.
We got a new one?
We got a freshie. Up to 114. We're slowly making our way. I want the reviews to pass the episode number. That's when I'll be happy.
Oh,
We got a ways to go, but it's
that's a lot.
okay.
We got to like double it, but that's okay.
Yeah, that, no, 114 to 198. We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Title: Great NASCAR Podcast, 5 stars.
Yes.
From Bob DePontes.
Love you,
Full
Bob.
name, full name, not a screen name, not a joke name. Just
Well, it might be Robert.
could be.
Might not be
Or
totally full name.
Roberto. We
Could
don't
be
know.
Roberto.
It's your daddy.
Roberto.
Roberto.
It's me, your pappy.
We could be like Tiger Woods and his daddy.
His daddy.
Don't be stupid. Take the money.
Don't be
I
stupid.
have not
take the
seen
money.
Waterboy in 100
It was on TV
years,
like a
dude.
week ago, and I watched it. It was the
You're
best.
the only person that watches movies on TV, Dan.
I do because I don't like choosing.
She showed me a movie, so I like them
I
too.
like
Vicky
cable.
Valicourt.
I like Xfinity Cable to choose fast Xfinity Mobile. Where's my bonus? Sponsor us.
One Xfinity Mobile bonus would pay for this podcast for 10 years.
Legit.
Because they're what, like $10,000 or
I
something
think
like
so.
that?
yeah, probably.
But I don't like if I have to go through Netflix and pick a movie, we never will. We'll watch trailers for 3 hours. If there is a movie on TV, I'll watch it because I don't like having to make a choice. It chooses for me.
Yeah.
Okay, back to it. Bob DePontes. This podcast is awesome. I find their perspectives on point. Are you listening to the right podcast?
Yeah, right?
Kyle, Dan, and Norm bring a fan-centric look at each race.
Yeah, we do.
That's the point.
That's
Well, Kyle does most races. The ones he attends.
True.
Yeah,
From
fair.
the media coverage to every facet of the race, I appreciate that they are enthusiastic fans. Won't be tonight. Check these guys out. Loosest Fast will be your go-to NASCAR podcast.
hell yeah.
Thank
Hell
you, Bob
yeah.
Pockris. We know that was
Maybe it's
actually
Bob
you.
Pockris. And then moving on to the old Spotify, we got a couple more reviews in there. We're up to 156 on there.
Nice.
And we had one comment from last week from Oscar Pelletier. My name is Pelletier too. Haha.
I was like, that wasn't me, dude.
I know it wasn't. Shouts to Oscar for leaving a comment. So that is actually fun. I love the comments on Spotify.
The comments is cool.
Yeah.
Because it's not like as involved as a review, but it's still something fun to
That's
read.
honestly like some of these, like obviously, like we're not in that ballpark, but like some of the bigger podcasts out there where they have like a different guest every week. I'll read the comments before I watch the episode or listen to the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because you'll get the comments right away that are like, I hate that guy, I love that guy, I hate that guy. But some people are like, this is boring, this is like off topic, like kind of thing. And I'll just like, nah, it's not worth this week.
Yeah.
Yep. Other ways you can help us out, you can subscribe to the YouTube. That is the Loosest Fast Podcast. Join us live. I think we have like 10 people watching us right now.
Cool.
What do we got? 14. We're doing good. We
It
actually
says-
had a good
It
spike
says
last week.
15 on me, but
It's always different.
Thanks
My
for joining
internet's
us,
follow
folks.
us.
We love you.
Follow us on the old Instagram and the Twitter. @loosesfast_pod on both of those. What are other ways they can help us out? I don't think.
I think
any other
that's
ones.
pretty much
Nailed it.
everything.
I'm done for the day. I'm going home.
That a boy. Proud of you. Cool. Yeah, this is usually where we do our callbacks. I mean, our off track, but we moved that
Steve and Joe were just
to,
edging each other in the comments.
right.
It's so close. Keep going.
Nice. We do our little off track stuff in the pre-show on the YouTube. So if you're listening on a podcast, you want to hear about my trips to Miami and the Keys and Texas and Mohegan Sun in Connecticut and my temporary pain on my back.
That might
Go
have
back
been
to
your
YouTube.
longest off track ever.
Yeah, I don't like
In
talking too long.
198 episodes,
Probably is.
which I like it. You're always so like, you'll have the most eventful week. We'll get to off track and you're like, yeah, I did the thing. All right, moving on.
Yeah, won the lottery this week. Move
Yeah.
on.
Like I want you to, you got to be more personable.
Yeah, trying to keep
Well, this week he's Mr. Worldwide.
I did do a lot of traveling.
Another way you can help us out, and I feel terrible because I didn't bring it. I wanted to shout out Hondo Longmire again. We shouted him out last week for getting the picture with Mr. Travis Pastrana. He sent me. He got a 199. What is that? Like the front fairing?
Yeah, the number plate.
The number plate off. He got 2 of them. Kept one for himself. Sent one to us. It is signed by Mr. Travis Pastrana, and it also has Hondo Longmire's signature on the back of it. So now I can forge his signature.
Yep.
He's in witness
Maybe some
protection.
DNA. We can call up Colossus.
bet
We
you
can
there's
clone him.
I bet you there's a fingerprint on there.
Oh,
So I wanted to shout him out. I was in a rush this afternoon. I completely spaced bringing it down. It will be in studio next week. My bad.
Yeah. Super
Nice.
cool. Also, Don Runkle was
Oh,
at
yes.
the Four Wides this weekend, and he got a couple pictures with some big names. One being Mr. John
Dude,
Force.
seeing our logo next to John Force made me so happy.
Yep.
Did you see that? Probably not. I don't
No.
think you posted him in Discord.
No,
so
he posted them on the Facebook, which is something that old people use.
same. Hold on, let me bring it up for you just so you
Okay.
can see
Oh,
how
yeah.
cool that is.
Cool of them to do that.
Dude, he got a
Love
ton-
seeing our
he
merch
got-
places.
Like a bunch of pictures with people.
Yeah, Don has no shame when it comes to that stuff.
He'll just walk up to whoever. Where's the good one? There it is.
That's awesome.
John Force won't remember him as soon as he walked away, but you
Yeah.
know, that scrambled egg
Yeah, that
thing
wouldn't have
going
made
on.
a difference a
It
year
looks
or two
good,
ago
though.
either.
It looks good.
Yep.
Cool. Let's
Okay, that's all I got there.
shall we go
So-
into the old callbacks?
Sure, why not?
Callbacks.
Oh, that's the button he hit for callbacks. Damn.
Yeah.
it. Couldn't remember.
You guys did an awesome job the last 2 weeks. Very, very proud of you both. Yeah, paint scheme chat was awesome. I really,
Yeah,
I'm,
that's-
I'm mad that I missed that episode, but you guys did a bang up
What
job.
were your favorites since you're now here?
A lot of 4s. Yeah, the 4 in Xfinity.
Yep.
The Kodak. And I like the 44, the
Thank
Wawa
you.
car.
And Cup.
The Wawa.
I
Yeah,
thought you meant
and
the
Cup.
44 in Xfinity.
I also love that one. That would probably be my honorable mention. Would be
See, I love-
Brendan Pools. My big gripe though with Brendan Pools is his caricature was facing the opposite direction.
Yes. I heard a couple people say something about that.
Yep. Like where Bugs
Oh,
was facing one way, he was facing the opposite direction.
my thing is like they did a 10 out of 10 job with the throwback. I just never loved that paint scheme.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, I remember you saying
they
that.
did a bang up job on it. The Wawa 44 looked sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Sick.
Yeah, with their used Rick Ware racing wheels on that thing.
Yeah. So
It was perfect.
all 4s for me,
Yep.
for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for regular ass callbacks.
Yeah, you said you had a bunch of callbacks, so
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to talk about. Is
Okay.
You guys did a bang up job and throw in my my picks there, and that's all I got.
10-4.
But we can get into our other callbacks, which would be our race picks.
No, I don't want to.
As we do every week. This has been an absolute riot
Yep.
because it is a total roller coaster and a lot to play with.
It's gotten a little tighter.
Ish.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm back kind of in this thing.
Timestamp for NASCAR.
Right. All right. So let's go back to our race picks, calling back to who we chose for last week. Scumbag chose for me, Christopher Bell. Dan chose Kyle Busch.
I think I was drunk when I made my pick. I'd like to rescind it.
Yeah. that was
Fine, you
another
can have Corey
callback for
LaJoy.
me. When you make the race pick of Kyle Busch and Noah goes, "You're an idiot." I just finished up for the day. I have my headphones in and I'm in the elevator. I'm like, what?
I don't really know. I was just kind of punting. Like I didn't want to, and I'm dumb because I almost picked Larson. Like I thought about it and I was like, I still have that mentality of last year where I'm like, I gotta save him for something better. I should just fucking pick him.
Oh, yeah, you
I
do
should have
still
just
have
used
Larson.
him. I should have just used him. He's
Dude,
A-
pick him for Talladega.
AJ Allmendinger stole the perfect race from him.
Yeah.
Dinger got the fastest lap, got that extra point. Larson gets 60 points. He would have had 61.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had picked him, I would have had 70 points.
You know what's crazy?
You would have taken the most points in a day.
Yep.
I was this close to picking Bubba Wallace last week. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. Denny's going to go for 3.
Yep.
Thank God, because Bubba got like probably 10 points.
Yeah. Who has the low? You actually, Norm, you have the lowest day
Yeah.
with the 1. I forgot about the 1. No one's going to get lower than you.
Lowest points?
Points for the day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you could pick somebody that ends up using the OEP, I guess.
Or gets DQ.
I guess. Yeah.
Like, I'll take.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh,
could get a DQ.
Yep.
That's the only way someone can be worse than
Negative.
Norm.
I got negative 50 points this week. Thanks,
Yeah.
Eric Jones.
Norm's the only person in the history of the planet to pick Kyle Larson and get a point.
A point.
So Norm ends up taking the win on the day with Denny Hamlin, getting him a total of 55 points.
I mean, that's
Yep.
almost as good.
yeah. Dan with Kyle Busch, still not a bad day. Got 23 points.
Okay, I thought it was worse than that. He had no stage points.
He
so-
did
And-
something at the end. Somebody was, I think Joe Sanchez pointed out. He's like, Kyle Busch is like mowing through the field somehow.
Yeah.
And I chose Mr. Christopher Bell, got me 42 points, which brings our totals to me in first place with 306, Dan in second with 272,
All right, not too bad.
and Norm in third with 263.
That got you right back in the game.
Yeah, close to you, but I mean, I'm still.
I still got a 43 point lead on him.
points behind Kyle.
True.
Don't worry, I've had 2 days in single digits equally as you have, so I could easily blow it.
I'm still Mr. Consistency, right? I don't think I've had any single digit days.
You've had 2.
Did I have 2? Okay.
Briscoe with 9 and Gregson with 9.
True. You're right.
But overall, your average is definitely better.
Yeah.
Bro, that is my first,
Have an absolute roller coaster.
given it's not a win-win, that is my first like 5-point bonus since Phoenix.
Yeep.
Yep, correct.
I went on a 5-week losing streak.
And Dan and I are tied for wins with wins.
Wins with wins.
Oh no, I take that back. I
you
have
one more than I do.
I have 4 wins on the day, 1 win on the race. You got 1 win on the race, 1 winner on the day
Okay.
for regular season.
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, you each
cool.
only have 1 overall win-win.
Yeah. So we don't have a cup race this weekend, but we can pick ahead for Talladega.
Why don't we just pick next week?
No, let's pick
Just
now.
pick now.
Oh,
We're already in it.
I haven't thought about it.
It's Talladega. Just
Throw shit
spit
at
a
the
handful
wall.
of gummy bears and
Yeah.
write numbers on them. Throw it against the wall. So Dan, you pick first.
Heck. I have to hold on. I wasn't prepared. I thought we were
You said you were saving Kyle Larson, dude. Time to use him.
Oh, mistake.
pass. That's a hard pass. Who do I think I know who I want to pick. I just need to make sure I still have him, which I think I do. I do. Give me. Ooh, actually, no. I don't know if I like that. Sorry, I forgot he changed cars. Shit, I used Gilliland already. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Screw it. Go. Oh, ugh. I was gonna go McJesus, but I forgot he's in a Spire car now.
They've been pretty quick.
I'm just thinking about the Fords. You know what? Give me McJesus.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah. I was thinking the Fords, but they're usually good in qualifying and then somehow muck it up during the race. So
All right, you going
Muck
with
it up.
McDowell. I'm going to take Mr. Kyle Busch.
idiot. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Talladega.
Yeah, he'll be
okay.
fine. He'll be fine.
I'm going for those stage points. I'm going with Mr. Blosiv Logano.
Smart.
What?
Carteropoli
Logano.
Carteropoli LaJoy's not in the race. I saw his.
No, Talladega, I think he
Nope,
said he was
he's
doing.
not.
No?
His. They were talking about it in that Corey group I'm on Facebook. His PR lady, Leanne, posted that the only things they have set in stone right now is Atlanta and Watkins Glen.
I thought he said he was doing Talladega.
She said he is not doing Dega.
Oh. How do they only? I thought he had 7 races.
I think that's just what they have nailed down at the moment.
Yeah.
It seems like.
All right, so that's going to do it. So, Talladega, 2 weeks from now, obviously. We've got the week off for Cup, but don't worry, we'll still be here because we got Rockingham to
Yeah.
talk about. So hopefully that is a banger.
Somebody posted, to those that were curious, Corey will not be running at Dega. My buddy talked to him after the race and asked, that really sucks. And then Leanne said, Atlanta and Watkins Glen Cup so far, but working for more.
Mm-hmm.
Cup. Weird to specify that.
Weird to specify Cup, but
Yeah.
No. All right, so that does it for the race picks. And moving on to the last segment of callbacks, in which Norm names his
Scheme of the Week. You did that back. You did that weird.
Yeah, I tried to switch it up a
I
little
like
bit.
that. I
I
liked
liked it.
You're switching it up, dude.
All right, so
He's a switch hitter. It's fine.
What? Wow. The only redeeming stuff from this race might be the paint. What do you got,
wasn't
Norm?
even
There
that
wasn't
much.
What
that
do you
many bangers out there. We're
I
starting off
liked the
strong
01.
with
Oh, it's-
Corey's Schluter
A
Systems car.
black base Schluter car kills it.
Yeah.
I thought it looked so good.
The numbers straight popping on that thing. I like it a lot. I don't think it's his best Schluter scheme.
I loved last
but-
year's.
It's a good Schluter scheme.
Mhm.
They ran that scheme on their drag car, the Icebreakers looking
Oh, really?
scheme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was badass.
But yeah, I think super cool looking scheme. I like it.
real sharp, real sharp.
No way I'm picking 3 Rick Ware Racing schemes this year, though.
Yeah, that's
That's
gotta be-
impossible.
rough.
Bush
Stack of
Light
pennies
plaid
before.
scheme. That's hot.
Yeah.
I like the one last year better. I think the plaid looked better last year.
I liked the new one too.
Yeah, the 2 Snap-on scheme. It's cool. It's clean.
Fire.
White base is just
Fire.
I almost would have ran red numbers on that thing.
the only thing I don't like about it, and I think you guys pointed this out in the Discord, is the complete ADHD with the stripage.
Yeah,
Like, well, what's going on
There's
there?
nothing symmetrical about the stripes. They're all at different angles,
We had
forward,
RFK stripes for
backwards.
some reason.
And this looks just like the Freightliner Tron scheme, but a different color.
I kind of see what you're saying. There.
Cool scheme, not my favorite. No one ever does snap-on schemes good. I think Harvick had a decent one back in the day.
Didn't
Oh, wow.
Blaney have a
Long time
couple?
ago, yeah.
Or no, Cindric's last year. I think. I
No,
liked
they
it,
were
but-
always like that gray black fade with
Yeah.
red letters that you can't read.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
3 biofuel, nothing to write home about. The 4 Rural King.
The hell's
I guess it's just like a big ass outlet store for cowboys,
probably like a outlet
it
tractor
sounds like-
supply.
like a bigger Harrison's by the
Oh,
Yeah.
description of it.
It's a good looking car.
Cool scheme. We've seen 4 schemes this year that look identical to it. 5, nothing to write home about. 6,
Big old sandwich.
decent. Not the worst Kroger scheme we've seen this year.
No, I feel like they're getting better.
Yeah. 7, Nation Guard.
I thought
Uh,
that looked really good.
Welcome back, Corey LaJoy.
Yeah.
Chetas. Napa. 10, Okumo cars always look cool. I think it's just the colors look really good. 11, Progressive. Still love that scheme.
What are the honorable
Nerds.
mentions and or
Well,
the winners?
Grizzly.
I need to go through them because I didn't fucking watch anything yesterday.
Yeah, the 01, honorable mention. 2, honorable mention. 1, honorable mention. There's only one clear winner, and we're going to get to it very soon.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he ran the stealth bomber car again yesterday.
Good luck he wasn't on TV once.
Yeah.
He was definitely a stealth bomber this race, dude. 'Cause he fucking bombed.
And no
But
one saw
was.
him.
24,
So
I
they
wanna talk
changed
about this car.
Yeah,
because they massacred it.
I saw a
They
post on
ruined it.
Reddit about this that they were like, "What are they doing?"
So, Hendrick, I happily pointed out that they were definitely doing some paint scheme manipulation earlier this year at Daytona and Atlanta, doing some funny business with with the stripes and the wraps on the cars.
Yep.
I think we ran into that again with the 24 this week. It's the Exalta scheme, but they got rid of the fade on the bottom of it, the yellow like dot fade.
Yeah.
That came up from
Mhm.
the bottom that they had already changed from the original renders and made it like a hard cut line and kind of ruined it a little bit on the original car, but I get it. The dots are applied after the fact because they're fluorescent reflective.
Yep.
I'm guessing they don't align with the arrow. So they didn't do it this week. So the car, instead of having the yellow fade, is just orange with blue flames on it. Or blue with
I
orange
think it's
flames
blue with
on it.
orange flames.
Either way, they got rid of all the character of the flames. It looks cool. It looks fine. It's still a bang and paint scheme. But the yellow fade made it like over the top
yeah.
scheme of the year.
To me, that looks like if I'm 8 years old, I'm gonna love that car because it's probably
Yeah.
bright as fuck in person.
Yeah. So it's still a cool looking scheme, but them getting rid of the dots kind of hurt my heart a little bit. 33, super cool looking. I think that's the 3rd different C related sponsor we've had this year.
Yeah.
I think we've had C2, C3, and C4 on a car this year. Don't know which one of this. They're using the same picture for the 34 and the 35.
Probably the 34.
That's smart. 35 is a cool scheme. There's my scheme of the week right there.
Oh,
Motherfucking
yeah.
Aaron's lucky dog, baby.
Yeah.
Back. I talked about Aaron's earlier this year. I was super hyped that they came back. Sponsor near and dear to my heart because I grew up a Michael Waltrip fan. So Aaron's was always right there on the sides of his cars and Xfinity, Summon Cup. Aaron's came back this year. I pointed out at the beginning of the year. They were back on the 34 and the 38 car. And this week they changed up the scheme and it's got a big old lucky dog on the side of it.
Yep.
On the hood, on the side, on the rear bumper. I am hyped. I remember this. I remember the lucky dog was a big deal. That's the reason why we have a lucky dog in races.
Yeah. It was literally. It wasn't it sponsored by Aaron's.
It was created by Aaron's. They call it the Lucky Dog. So Aaron's created their mascot to match
Yeah.
it. I don't know chicken or the egg, which one came first. But the Lucky Dog that
I
we see
think
every
the-
yellow flag is because of Aaron.
I think the NASCAR, like the wave around, came first, and then they sponsored it and called it the Lucky Dog.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if I remember correctly, wasn't that like a DWism?
It might have
Like
been.
there's the lucky dog that gets the lap back. Like I feel like I remember. I might be wrong. I might be completely off base. But I wanted to bring up. I loved the 60 car because it was actually coherent. Like it was all the same color.
Yeah. The 60?
the pink. I would have Steve show it, but he's
Trying to look up the origin of the.
Oh,
Lucky
okay.
Dog.
The 60. Oh, the Boost Mobile scheme.
yeah.
Yeah, cool scheme.
I thought it was.
I liked it a lot.
that's
I just
sharp.
like that they committed to the bit and the whole. Like they could have easily had that with a white hood or other
Yeah.
colors. Like it's just.
It just
pink.
shows how much better that no white hood can look.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is just.
Because it
pink.
still has the Kroger stuff in the same exact spot as it normally does.
Yeah.
With whatever brand.
Yeah.
Honorable
I like
mention
that too.
also the 66, who was our boy Josh Balicki.
Yep.
Oh,
This
that
week-
looked cool. Was that a
Cool
Manscaped one?
Manscaped scheme with like purple camouflage on it. They ruined it. They just reused their old numbers
Mhm.
that had like a gold drop shadow,
Steve, scroll down a
which
little bit.
like didn't
66.
look atrocious,
Oh, I get you.
but it just
Yep.
doesn't match the scheme.
I
But
I
it's
don't
a
mind it,
super
but I see
bitch.
your
I like
point.
the scheme.
I
a
think if
lot.
that drop shadow was purple,
yeah,
that
or
would
if
be
that drop shadow was yellow to like match the tire letters,
something,
would be something
yeah.
like that. But
yeah, it's just the
like
gold,
coppery
just
gold is
a
weird.
touch misplaced on it. But it's a really good
It's
looking
a sharp
scheme.
car for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, here we go. We get the origins of the Lucky Dog. Oh, Steve,
I don't know
Some
how to
sort
use
of
a
crazy
computer.
windowedness going on here.
Lucky Dog. Yeah, but I want the name. There we go. Oh, Benny Parsons. It wasn't a DWism. It was a Benny Parsons.
I miss Benny, dude.
He used the phrase to describe Jimmy Spencer, whose car was sponsored by Sirius Satellite Radio, which had a dog as its mascot. The term Lucky Dog quickly caught on and became commonly used. Wow. Okay. So I was half right. It was a broadcaster. It just wasn't TW.
Oh, I forgot about the serious
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
That was always
That's
a cool looking
throwback.
paint scheme.
Good Google, Steve.
Wow. That's solid.
Way to
I
go,
like that.
producer Steve.
He's getting there.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, love that. Love that. We'll give him a.
That's two of them in one day.
You keep it up, Steve. You might actually think we're real chat.
Maybe.
All right, let's keep digging. We don't have a whole lot, but
I keep forgetting about that until we hit the button.
it makes me so happy.
I want the GTA one.
I gotta see. I have it. It's saved on there, but I really just enjoy this. So whenever I stop laughing if I hit this button, then I'll switch to the other
Yeah.
ones. Then I'll just laugh at that one for the next 3 months. But anyway, we got a couple bits of news. First one, I guess we'll start with the somber news out of Hendrick Motorsports. Longtime director of race communications, PR,
Public relations.
He was PR.
Yeah, public
he was
relations.
Gordon's PR guy
yeah.
forever.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's Mike Davis.
Yes.
yeah, and PR for Larson. And
Basically,
for-
when listening to Teardown today,
Yeah.
Gluck did a really good job of kind of explaining who he was.
Yeah.
For those that didn't know, which I was one of those people that didn't really know what he was. And he was Gordon's right-hand man forever. And then even when Gordon was broadcasting, he was his right-hand man. And then when they were bringing Larson into the fold, Jeff was like, you're going to go do this with Kyle Larson because he needs, obviously, at the time, he needed the PR help.
Yep.
Yeah, I think by the sounds of it, like he was Jeff Gordon's publicist, which back in the day, Mike Davis, if you ever listen to Dale Jr. Download, Mike Davis was Dale Jr.'s publicist assigned to him from Budweiser.
Yeah.
Pretty much back in the day when you had a big name sponsor, they dealt with all your publicity. Now it's the teams do it.
Yeah.
But back then, the sponsor pretty much did it. Like, hey, this is John Edwards. He's from DuPont or he's from Pepsi. And he's now in charge of any appearance you got to do. Anytime you're in a newspaper, on a magazine, he's in charge of that. He's your guy for that communication. And it sounded like either when Jeff retired and went to the office, he kind of took over the whole team, or it was he did say he was right there with Larson. Obviously, Larson had his famous blunder and had to kind of rebuild his image. And the big thing with that is publicity. Like
Right.
that was his biggest hurdle in recovering from that. And it sounded like John Edwards was kind of the head of the spear on that to get him back into NASCAR and to help with his image and help him try to repair some of the damages he did. So it sounds like he was truly important to both Jeff Gordon, Kyle Larson, all of Hendrick Motorsports, but he is one of those jobs. He's an unsung hero, and kind of the less you hear about him, the better he's doing at his job.
Yeah, yeah.
So very sad. Seemed like it was very sudden. They said he was at Darlington last week.
Yeah, he's only in his early 50s.
Yeah, they didn't
No, I
say
think he
what
was
it
like-
was, but it was
I
like
think he was like 50 something.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
was like 62 or
Yeah,
something.
but
Maybe
either way,
that,
still-
maybe that was Shiggy.
Still a young
Shiggy
guy,
was
but
63.
yeah, somber news out of the Hendrick Motorsports camp. So our thoughts and prayers are with the entirety of Hendrick Motorsports as well as
Yeah.
his family and friends.
That's a
as
tough
well, so.
loss. Hendrick is really good about remembering team members and such. They do a good job of continuing their legacy, keeping them in touch with the team, and making sure they don't get forgotten.
Yeah.
I know I had a personal friend that worked on the 48 team for a few years, and he passed away due to cancer. And I mean, they had his initials on that car for 5 or 6 years after that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, Hendrick is the best when it comes to that kind of stuff. His family is never not going to be part of their family.
Yeah.
So super
They take
super
care of
honored
their own for sure.
for their
I
team. I'm
also
sure.
wanted to highlight too the other guy that they brought up in the teardown, Al Pierce, longtime media guy for NASCAR. This is crazy. He went to 56 Daytona 500s in a row.
Oh my God.
He went to 56 consecutive Daytona 500s. That is how long he has been in this sport. Apparently, he was a huge historian. He was one of those people that you could like bring up anything and he'd know it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess Gluck was saying he was a huge mentor to him when he was coming
Yeah.
up.
I don't listen to the teardown very often, but Jeff Gluck did, talk about these two guys for 20, 25 minutes at the end of the podcast, and it was great insight into both of those guys.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you're going to listen to the teardown for that reason, I highly recommend it. It's right at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, super, super sad for both of these guys, but I'm glad they're getting some recognition
Yep.
and
Yeah, for sure.
not just disappearing.
Not a ton of other news. We did have Catherine Legg in the news because they did announce that she will be doing multiple Cup and Xfinity races moving forward. Has a 7-race deal, if I'm not mistaken. We'll be doing some stuff with Jordan Anderson and also back in the Cup as well. That she'll be doing Rockingham this upcoming weekend with Xfinity, and at least Mexico and Charlotte and Cup that we know
Yep.
of so far. So give her another shot. And I think Rockingham, we'll see how that goes, whatever. But I think the Mexico City kind of aligns with the original plan.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
originally trying to do Coda.
Yeah, Phoenix
Um,
was just so out of left field.
Yeah.
Like that is like they did with Jesse Love this weekend. It's like you're kind of putting a lot on that person's shoulders, throwing them into the wolves like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse Love at Bristol was a bold move.
Yeah.
He did
I
good
mean,
though.
he did fantastic.
He did. Yeah.
Because guess what? You only heard his name twice, and it was when they were congratulating him on doing so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in
That's
your
what
first
you
ever
want.
start.
100%.
Yep. And let's hope that she gets that. And then these starts.
Yeah.
Either no one talks about her or they're complimenting her.
I'm
Nothing in between.
scared.
Just learn.
I'm scared for her at Rockingham
We'll see.
because I don't think anyone out there is going to know what they're doing, and she's going to be a step behind everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
She doesn't do this every week, so it's going to be tough.
Yep. We'll see there. The only other thing that I saw was Keelan Harvick got his first start in the cars. I think it was Pro Late model.
Pro Late
car
models,
store.
yeah.
Pole and top 5 finish.
Did you see the guy?
Great equipment for you.
See our boy Doug Barnes, who we had on the show many years ago.
that.
Ended up in the watermelon field off the backstretch.
Yep.
What the hell?
He's just slid and slid and slid and slid.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
Oh yeah,
Thing just starts sliding sideways, and it's just
it's in slow motion.
slowly sliding further and further
Yeah.
away from the
They
track.
were at
Did he have beef with Ross Chastain before that? Or
Yeah, no.
they were at
he's
what
killing the profits
was
out
it?
there?
Cordell Speedway,
Yeah,
and
sounds
there is
right.
no. Basically, you come off a 2, the wall.
Cordeal.
The halfway through turn 1 and 2, the wall stops, and there is no wall all the way till you get to turn 3. That picture of Junior with the clouds, fire.
Yeah.
Looks like he's driving off into the clouds. But yeah, that also means if you get right hooked or out of shape at all going on the backstretch, you are going for a ride, and there's a fucking watermelon patch.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that it's like off track, just downhill.
Yeah, they said
And it's
something.
such
There's
a
a creek back there
slight-
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They said there's a creek back there too, so he's lucky he didn't end up in that because they just yanked him out of the watermelon patch and then he was right back in the race. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Great shots though. Like just
Yeah.
the sky view of his car just in the middle of a field with a 4-wheeler behind it.
There was a-
It's just an awesome
it
picture.
reminded me. I saw a video on Instagram like a couple weeks ago. It was at some drag race. It might have been one of those drag and drive things, but the guy gets to the end of the track, goes to pull the chutes, nothing happens. He's like pulling it, nothing's happening. On the brakes, obviously it's a drag car. It's got terrible brakes. And he just kind of gets to the end and turns right and goes into a cornfield. The car's full of corn because it's like got no windows on it. Like
Yep.
he's just sitting there laughing. Like the car wasn't damaged or anything. And he's just like looking around and he's like picking up corn. He's like, God damn it.
So, start shucking it.
Yeah.
Give it a try. That's all I got. You guys got any other
I'm
bits
going
of
to throw a
news?
little bit of padded room into the news real quick.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys see that old Ben Kennedy himself was spotted at Long Beach for the IndyCar race this
Oh, I
weekend?
did not see that.
Really?
Yep. The old the old puppeteer behind the Chicago Street Course, and I think he had a lot to do with the Clash as well.
Yep.
At
Oh,
the
yeah.
Coliseum,
Sure
probably at Bowman Gray as well. Possibly eyeing NASCAR's next venture.
I've been saying it for years. I would love that.
I don't think the car is going to be fantastic there, but I think it's going to be cool if they go to Long Beach and
Hell
Cup
yeah.
cars.
Absolutely. And
Also,
I
get
don't
you back in
understand
Southern
why they don't.
California.
yeah, I don't understand why they have a problem maybe playing second
mean, with
fiddle on a
IndyCar-
companion weekend.
With IndyCar on Fox now,
Yep.
IndyCar now owns Long Beach. I think it's all kind of aligning.
Yeah.
The only problem is this is going to be the classic, like, who gets prime time kind of deal.
Who gets the
Right.
second fiddle? Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you run both of them on Sunday. Damn it.
Yeah.
Who
Run 'em-
cares?
Run them both.
Who cares?
Doubleheader on Sunday. We did it. We've done it before at Pocono. We
What
ran,
are they
we
running
ran
those things?
Xfinity and Cup on Sunday.
Do they have
Remember?
No problem.
Pirelli tires in IndyCar?
Yes. I think so.
I'm sure those will mix with Goodyear's.
Yeah, they'll
fine.
be fine.
It'll be fine.
Maybe we'll figure out the Pirellis are better and we'll just get rid of Goodyear.
I think the thing is,
I don't think it's
IndyCar's
their fault at this
IndyCar
point.
is going to have to bend the knee because I guarantee the Goodyear tires are going to fuck up the Indy cars a lot more than the IndyCar tires will fuck up NASCAR.
Probably.
Yeah,
So IndyCar is going to have to run first.
Probably.
probably. That sounds about right.
But yeah, I saw that, and people were like, "Oh, people are gonna even Ben Kennedy didn't want to go to that snoozer at Bristol." It's like, no, dude, he's doing homework.
He's doing his job.
He's working.
Yeah.
Was there anything? I don't think there was.
yeah.
It was a slow news week.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet week. Yeah, let's just get into it, right?
Yay.
We were all just looking for this. Is there anything else we can talk
Anything
about?
not to talk about this? Not even just the Cup race. This whole weekend.
I think that's fitting.
When the truck and Xfinity races are boring, that's bad.
Yeah. So yeah, we had triple header weekend at Bristol. We had the Weather Guard truck race. Don't know why there's no numbers involved. The SciAps 300 and then the Food City 500. Yeah,
Literally nothing.
not a
happened.
great time.
Nothing happened in the truck race that I remember.
Like obviously we're probably going to talk about it, and everyone has been talking about how awful the Cup race is and what do we do, how do we fix this, but none of them were that great.
Nope.
Truck race, I mean, we got some highlights. Chandler Smith getting his first victory of this year, second at Bristol, sixth of his truck career.
And killing the Larson sweep before it even began.
I don't think he had the truck.
He didn't. He was
No.
middle,
On that-
he was
so-
middle of the top 10 all night.
Yeah, I watched when I was watching the truck race. The end, I'm like, oh, watching the restart. Here's his shot. It's over. Larson's gonna sail off. He's got the fresher tires. No chance.
Yeah.
It's over. He just drove away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Larson
had
did
some,
not have
Larson
the
had some
truck.
choice words about that.
Oh, did he? I missed that.
Yeah, pretty much saying like the trucks, you just can't do anything. You're in a train, you can't move off the bottom. It's one lane. He couldn't do anything to catch him or pass him.
Yep.
He goes, they're so underpowered. There was nothing I could do as a driver to get an advantage over him.
Oh, I didn't hear
He
that.
was just better or had a better truck.
This truck
And
was just
there's
simply
just
better.
nothing Larson could do. He tried moving lanes. He was moving around at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
And
was.
nothing
And
worked. You
Larson's
just-
tires were fresher than Chandler
Yeah,
Smith's.
you just had
he,
to bottom feed. That's
he
all you
had
could do.
5 car lengths on him within 2 laps. It was
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
Yep.
He didn't lead anything. But yeah, Chandler Smith led 127 laps. Roger Carruth was out front for a while, though.
He
Good to
did.
see him running some laps
Little,
out
wasn't
front.
that? It was pit strategy. They
Yeah,
couldn't make it.
he flipped the
They
flipped
were
the
like
stages
they were like
kinda.
40 laps short of making it, but it was good to see him out front.
Yeah.
And he stayed
But-
there too.
I mean, that ties. I think that either ties or beats his total career laps.
It beat
led,
him.
So,
It beat it by a
Yeah,
lot if I
so
remember.
good for
if I
him.
remember correctly.
I
get
mean,
some,
I was saying this
some
since
practice and some fresh air. You know,
since halfway through last year. The Spire trucks just haven't been there. They haven't had the speed they had before.
They started last year on fire.
Yeah, with that. 'cause
remember
they
that
had the
time I was
KBM
talking about
notebooks.
spreading yourself too thin again?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And now that team that I was worried about spreading themselves too thin, being inspired. Oh, had it
Yeah.
again.
I'm thinking their truck
2
program.
for 2.
Their truck program should have never dwindled. There was nothing that they
But
should
they're
have.
putting more trucks on track.
Yeah, they should have. That
We're-
truck program should have just been interchanged.
What, they got four
We swapped-
trucks and 3 cup cars?
And that building's
Yeah.
not that big.
Yeah.
But that truck's team should have just stayed. It should have been plateaued from where they picked up from KBM.
Yeah.
What, perfect?
Yeah, literally,
Like,
that
fucking
truck team
perfect?
was just like,
The winningest truck
Change this-
organization of all time.
change the stickers, we're good. But they
Yeah.
did something to, whether it's adding a 4th truck or losing a crew chief or whatever they did with that swap. They started out so strong and then they just dropped.
Yeah.
Similar to Kyle Busch, his first year at RCR, 3 wins. Oh my God, he's so good. It's like, yeah, they still have Reddick's notebook.
Right.
As soon as that information was outdated, RCR went back to being RCR.
Yeah.
It's they built such a notebook with Reddick, and that team was firing on all cylinders. It carried over to Kyle Busch, made Kyle Busch look better, and they just never recovered once everything started to change. In KBM, that truck program nothing in the trucks has changed. It should have been same.
It should have stayed where it was.
Yeah. But they were so strong at the beginning of last year, and halfway through the year, they were gone.
Yeah, I agree.
And this year, I mean, Talladega, Daytona, or whatever, Atlanta, Daytona, they were strong there, but they don't really have the intermediate speed.
No, not at all.
Unless Kyle Busch is in the truck, because didn't he do Vegas and he won, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they put Clinton in it at Kansas last year, and he was barely top 10, kind of like Kyle Larson's running.
But yeah, Chandler Smith gets his victory in the truck series. Obviously, we talked about him a lot towards the end of last season, not knowing what was in the cards for him, if you will, and he ends
Who
up
did
landing
he
at the
race
truck.
for in trucks originally?
Oh,
Was
row?
it KBM?
was it?
Did he
Steve,
go KBM, JGR, colleague, and now he's at FRM?
That sounds right.
Because I could not remember. I was like, because I remember,
just look up
he
his
was-
Wikipedia, Steve.
yeah, he was like a truck phenom. And I was like, I don't remember who he raced for in trucks. I think it was KBM.
Kyle, we have a producer doing this for us now.
Yeah, no,
I think he was in the 4 truck.
he was in the 18.
Was the 18?
Yeah.
The JBL and Safe Light and
was
stuff.
that KBM?
Did Venturini for a long time, and then KBM.
He was also in the 51 truck as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's like where he kind of like took off.
He blew
And
up
He was
there,
like, "You're
yeah.
the next big thing." And I don't remember if he
You're
raced
a
for.
wizard, Harry.
I don't remember if he raced for JGR or not in the Xfinity series. Or
Didn't
if
he last year? And that was where the money ran out?
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Didn't he run for Xfinity?
Yeah.
And
Hey, you talking about the 81?
The 81.
yeah, the
Yeah,
81
yeah,
last
yeah.
year. And then the money ran out and he had to go.
Okay.
He was worried he was going to have to go work for his dad's construction company.
Which has sponsored him his entire life, so it can't be that bad of a construction company.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously extremely talented. He just kind of seemed like he just kind of made some dumb moves in the Xfinity series and
Yeah.
kind of just chopped his own knees out from underneath him. So he had to kind of take that John Hunter approach, step back, go to the truck series. And FRM's really fast in the truck, so this should be the start of a lot of wins for him this year.
Yeah.
Because with the way Lane Riggs ended last year, that team's good.
For sure. All right, I guess we go to Saturday. We got the
Psyops.
PsyOps.
Kyle Larson 300.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Allgaier gets dash for cash, $100,000
Yep.
for his record-setting 7th time. So that's cool. Good for him.
Yeah, well, the other half wrecked out.
Yeah. Brennan Poole needs a new car.
And the 21 never showed up.
Guess while we're there, the Brendan Poole
That was scary.
Sheldon Creed accident.
I don't
Oh, boy.
still don't know how Sheldon Creed did he just spin on his own?
No,
Did
he got
get
bumped.
hit?
He got the what is it, 26?
The 26 got into the
Okay.
corner a little. So Sheldon said in his post race that he had hit him a couple times, but nothing bad. And then the last time he got him like in the middle of the corner
Yeah.
and it turned him and he just looped around and was sitting off the exit of 4. I wanted to say, I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, oh, what Arca brake at Brennan Poole. He's full throttle, middle of the corner, exiting. And my thing that I noticed in one of the replays, they didn't throw that caution until Brennan was already sliding towards Chandler.
Yeah.
You can see
Sheldon.
Sheldon's sitting. Did I say Chandler? Sorry. Sheldon's sitting there, and you can see the 44 coming off the corner sideways, and he's maybe 100 feet from him. And then you see the caution start waving and the lights turn on.
Yeah.
It was too
It was
late.
way too late.
It was wicked late for
Yeah.
a car sitting broadside off the exit of a corner.
And he hit that thing a ton. Knocked
Well,
the wind out of
somebody-
both of them.
Whoever was in front of him, I forget who it was, barely missed him.
It was Garrett Smithley.
Smithley barely missed Sheldon, and yeah, you could tell that Brennan just didn't know he was there. By the time he realized what was going on, it was too late. Slid into him. I mean, the fact that it ripped the rear axle housing in half.
Yeah.
And I was scared when I
Yeah.
saw the replay the first time because I saw that wheel hub half an
I
axle.
thought the whole
assembly.
rear end was gone.
I thought that half of it, because you saw it go flying, but it flew off camera, and I was like, where the fuck did that go?
Yeah,
Did
good
that
point.
go over the pit wall? Because that's not good. Luckily, it didn't. It hit the pit wall and stayed in the track
Yeah,
area.
no one.
Well, I'm
wants
watching
to.
it on my phone while getting tattooed over the weekend,
Yeah.
so I'm watching on this tiny screen, and it looked like the whole rear end was gone.
I mean, it can opener the side of the car, ripped the rear end housing in half. You're
Foam
right.
everywhere.
It knocked the wind out of both of them. Like Brennan was slow to get out of the car.
Did you hear both of their in-car
Yes.
radios? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't hear the radios, but I did see a stat somebody posted. It's like all the incidents Dean Thompson has caused this year, and there was at least one per race.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't know this was the incident, but yeah,
I love.
I mean, nothing Brennan could do. He was doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, he started doing the Dash for Cash after Martinsville.
No. Or yeah, Martinsville. You're
He
right.
was in
Sorry.
the Dash for Cash. He started like 23rd or something like that. Within 10 laps, he was in the top 20. I mean, so he was.
Yeah.
He would have been second or third in the Dash for Cash, more likely,
Yep.
because I think he was better than the 21. 21 was nowhere to be
21
seen all
wasn't
day.
there. Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got to think, what are the Xfinity cars doing? 18-second laps here?
Ish.
Ish.
So you got 18-second laps if he's a full lap ahead of him. So that's not a lot of time. Spotters, probably not the best.
I mean, his spotter just went. I don't know if you heard the radio. All his spotter said was low, 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 like 100 times. Like he didn't have time to say anything else.
No.
It's Alpha Prime. I'm pretty sure Brad spots for one of the cars.
Sometimes
I think he spots for the 45.
There was
when
nothing
he's
he
not
could have
in it.
done though. He couldn't
was
have
just-
seen it. Where he
yeah.
was on the track,
No.
he's paying attention to
Not
the cars
to
around
mention-
him.
You're at Bristol, a self-proclaimed self-clearing racetrack. You don't expect a car to be stopped against the outside wall.
It did self-clear itself after Sheldon got out of the
Yeah.
car. That was so goddamn funny.
No, he got out and it
Sheldon
just
gets
rolled
out of the
away.
car and just
I
rolling.
have the
He's just
picture
like-
on my phone
he
because
like-
it's just a funny picture.
He like tried to stop it and then he's like, "Fuck it,"
Yeah.
and just let it
Game-
roll
game
and
down.
he's
over
just sitting
anyway.
there clapping at the cars as
Yeah.
it went down the hill.
What about since we're talking about incidents? What about the Massey and Allgaier one?
So I saw a lot of people, and even I saw Massey post on Twitter, like, "What was I supposed to do, Justin?" I wish the broadcast would have said that wasn't Justin. That was Channel 2. That was the spotter and the crew chief talking to each other.
Yeah, I'm guessing garage doors being closed.
Jesus. Thought the house was
underneath
coming
us.
down.
Autobots.
That was the spotter and the crew chief talking on the radio saying that was Massey's fault. I don't think Justin thought that. That's all on Justin. What the hell is Massey supposed to do? He's on the bottom.
Justin's kind of
Yeah,
just
glued.
racing like he's on the track by himself. He
Yeah.
just
He drove
He's-
clean into him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's egg shaping the corner like there's no car on your
and
inside.
Massey was glued to the yellow line. What's he supposed to do? Go on the apron?
Yeah.
He didn't come up at all.
Yeah.
He stayed right where he was, and the 7 just cut down.
He held
across
his
him.
line as he should have,
Yep.
and just drove across him like he wasn't there.
Yep. Almost wrecked Justin too.
Yeah, that was just
Hell
dumb.
of a save for
He's
him.
done
Is
that,
that-
a few times.
Is that who
in
we
recent
met, or
history.
do we meet Maggio?
We met
Maggio.
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 Maggio. Yeah, so that was really dumb. Final Dash for Cash is upcoming. We got who's in it? We got Quapple, Allgaier, Sammy Smith, and Brandon Jones.
I wanted to highlight my scheme of the week was that one car.
Yeah,
The High Rock
so
car
ignorant.
Yeah.
was
That's sharp.
gorgeous.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely dominated Xfinity race.
Yeah, Kyle just ran away with it.
I think I saw a stat by the end of the weekend. Larson led 687. Most laps led at a single place in the weekend, and he didn't lead a single lap in the truck race.
Nope.
Yeah.
If he had a faster truck, it would have been even higher than that.
That's insane.
Absolutely nuts. So yeah, I
And
guess
this
we got
is
the Ford
not-
City 500 too.
Not his best track.
Well,
Like
so
he got out and said,
Well,
"Yeah,
he's
no,
won,
he has
he's
good
won 2 in a
stats
row here now.
I was going to say, so I made this mistake earlier in the week talking to one Levi in Discord. I was like, this isn't his best track. And then I looked up the stats. And I think it was only went back the last 4 races, but he's got like the best average finish, most laps led, all that. This was before this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is his own words. Like he said, I expected Homestead to be easier, Bristol to be harder.
And that's what I
and
said.
it was kind of the opposite for him.
That's what I said to Levi. He was talking about the sweep, and I was like, I don't think he's got a chance at the sweep this weekend. Homestead to me is the
Was it?
bar none.
Yeah.
Like he should have won it. He dominated every
Did
race.
he
He just
finish
got unlucky.
second at Homestead or third?
No, he finished like 4th.
Fourth.
He got the wheels lifted and
Yeah,
like everybody.
I didn't know where he recovered to.
He finished like 4th, I think, at Homestead in the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at this as a walk in the park for the sweep. That's Homestead to me.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the other places have been saying, like sometimes you just get lucky and you hit it,
Mhm.
but I don't think so. Not with him.
No.
He's put on a show
It's ridiculous.
multiple times. I mean, you look at the last 2 races here in Cup. He's led 95% of the laps at both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
The last one was a snoozer too.
I
mean, we'll just get into it. Talk about any topics across the weekend, whatever you got. But man,
mean, after practice,
that was tough watch.
This feels like the night race last year because it was exactly the same, but it's also that same letdown. So we go through last year's spring race with the tire debacle, the tires turning into dust, everyone's blowing up, tire conservation. Very interesting race, great race. We get to the night race, and everyone's hoping it's going to be the same thing, and it's not. Kyle Larson leads 90% of the laps, runs away with it, almost laps the field. Snooze fest.
Yeah.
Fast forward to this weekend. Now no one knows what to expect. Saturday at practice, guess what happened? They couldn't run more than 40 laps. They were
30.
Was it 30 laps? Yeah.
30 laps.
They couldn't run more than 30 laps. The tires were shredding themselves. I saw pictures of what some of the tires looked like. They didn't have any rubber left on them. They were fabric.
Alex Bowman had the best 30-lap average because he was the only person to go more than 30 laps in practice.
And I'm like, hell yeah. It's going to be another one of those races. It's going to be great. Apparently 10 fucking degrees makes a difference.
15.
15.
Huge difference.
Because
Clearly.
we start the race.
Blaney did 170
Yeah.
on a set.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin said in his podcast they could have gone the entire distance on that set of tires.
Yeah.
I was talking to Scumbag before you guys even got here. Ricky Stenhouse, his fastest lap was his 118th lap.
Yeah. So they start the race, and you're thinking, what? You're thinking, okay, this is everyone goes into tire conservation mode. It was kind of like watching fuel savings at Daytona.
Yep.
Everyone's running around maybe 50%, 60%. Bowman's leading. You can tell everyone's just taking it easy. And then all of a sudden, about 20 laps in, Larson is shot out of a can, and then they play the spotter audio. Yep,
40.
track's getting black. It's rubbering in, and everybody's just gone. And then after that, that was about 50 laps in. We had 450 qualifying laps after that. You could run as hard as you wanted for as long as you wanted.
Yep.
They ran, and then even when there was a little bit of fall off, I think Denny said, new tires, you were running like a 15.5, and 150 lap old tires were running like
16-1.
like 15.9 to 16.1. It's not enough fall off. That's insane.
Well, we saw that later in the race when the 12 ran long.
Oh my
Comes
god!
in,
And trapped the whole field down.
Comes
Yeah.
out, fifth or sixth
He came out
place?
fifth place. Yeah,
Doesn't gain a single spot.
yeah,
Maybe picks off one or two.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just.
But you have 30 lap fresher tires. You should be lapping the field
yeah,
And nothing happened.
and nothing.
It was painful to watch. Like,
Terrible.
and I mean, obviously, you
How
want
many? I mean, we grew up in the days of 10 cars finishing on the lead lap.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people were screaming about that on social media, and I was saying, I'm like, so quickly do we forget?
100%.
That's I'm not worried about. But the fact that it's just a conveyor belt of absolute nothingness,
You can't
and
pass.
Stenhouse putting up a best lap 100 laps into a run on the same set of tires is insane.
That's disgusting.
Blaney running 170 on the same set is just horrible. I understand a temperature change. No, we can't account for the temperature change. It shouldn't be at a point that we are so delicate of a 15-degree swing completely ruins a race.
I completely understand if Saturday it's 45 degrees and then Sunday it's 80. Okay, a 30, 40 degree difference, that makes sense. 15 degree, that's nothing.
We're relying too much on the tires.
100%.
Because
The tires are a
NASCAR,
Band-Aid.
That's where I wanted to
NASCAR
get to.
doesn't want to take responsibility for the car, so it's always like, oh, we got to figure out the tires. We got to figure out the tires.
Tires
How
are not the
often
answer.
Do we talk about tires in the Xfinity Series?
Never.
Fucking never.
The only thing we talk about with tires in the Xfinity Series is if we're at a high wear race and they're going to run out because
Yeah.
they have limited
Right.
sets.
Right.
But
Yeah, we keep talking about this. Like we were talking about last year, like, oh, more power, more power, more power. Oh, we got to rely on tires. Fine. If we're going to run on tires, we got to rely on them falling off. Well, we can't do that, clearly.
Yeah.
We
And
can't. We're trying.
We are running out of Band-Aids. 2 years ago, it was, let's try the up-down splitter and let's take the rear diffuser off and let's try aero stuff at Martinsville where we're going 40 miles an hour. Then the tire thing happened at Bristol last year, and then everyone was like, oh, tires. Tires is good. No, that's another Band-Aid. It's another Band-Aid for a car.
It's too delicate to rely on.
This car was designed off of a fucking sports car. It is meant to be a GT car. It's meant to go run Rolex, not run Bristol.
Right.
And NASCAR will not take responsibility and say, we fucked up. I mean,
Yeah.
even Denny said it. I listened to his show on the way down here. The car was released with they did some testing, but they didn't do enough testing. It already got delayed a year because of COVID, and then they just pushed it out.
Yeah. I've been saying this since we came out with this next gen car, and I'm going to keep saying it. The car doesn't suck. The car's too good.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
too good. 100%.
Everyone's, oh, this car is shit. This car sucks. No, it's actually the opposite. The car is incredible. It's too good.
We got used to, you think of the Gen 4s, even into the 5s and 6s, it was still a very basic, analog, live axle, skinny tires, lots of power, shitty brakes. It was the same formula. I don't care if it was Gen 3, 4, 5, 6.
Why were Gen 4 and Gen 6 races at Watkins Glen and Sonoma so good?
Because
the cars fucking sucked.
100%.
The cars were so bad that it made the racing good. I mean, my favorite quote out of any like racing thing ever is, "It's more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow." Guess what? Next gens, we're driving fast cars slow. They're too good. They're too over-engineered. NASCAR racing was the best when we were driving cars at 200 miles an hour that you shouldn't drive down the highway.
Yep.
Because they were so fucking primitive.
Right.
And now we have full-on IMSA cars with Italian chassis and drivetrains that were designed for Ferraris. And it's like, no.
I
give
said
us fucking push rod V8s, a solid rear axle,
H-pattern
and two
shifter.
adjustments on the rear end.
I said
That's
it
all we
years
need.
ago, and I always say it, and it's on T-shirts and shit now. Like, technology ruined the automobile.
Yep.
The last fun. When's the last good M3, E46? Maybe
E90,
maybe the 90.
Maybe the
Yeah.
90.
When they were still analog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
92.
You get into all the digital shit, they suck.
Yep.
You look at this car, same thing. It goes from a boring, like, piece of shit, basically, that you're saying, to this fancy, highly engineered, on rails type thing, and it sucks. The technology completely ruined the racing.
And on the technology standpoint, it's more than just the car. I'm sorry, get rid of SMT.
Oh, I've said that from the beginning.
fact that these guys can look and see what Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, they're running this line, they're using 56% throttle, 47% brake. I'm going to do that.
Having the whole field's throttle trace is nuts to me.
When Bozy was on Denny's show a couple weeks ago, he said that they have all that same information in IMSA, but they don't share it. Like that
They shouldn't.
You're allowed to, like, teams will share between. So let's say, like, there's the 2 Lexus cars that he works on. They share, but they don't share with anybody else.
Right.
Nobody else can see their shit. Why are we? It's just like every other sport where analytics is ruining everything.
Yeah.
Where now all of a sudden you watch
ruin the racing.
you watch an NFL game and they're going for it on fourth every time because the analytics say it'll work 30% of the time, and like the Moneyball effect in baseball, and all these analytics are just ruining everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same in NASCAR. You've got a car that's over-engineered and too fucking good at its job, making boring ass races. I'm sorry. I thought it was cool when we first got the next gen car and we had all that parity and we had 17 different winners. Now the parity is becoming the other way and all the cars are the same fucking speed and you can't do anything. What did he say?
We had the parity as people figured it out, but now that people have pretty much figured it out, it is dead even.
And that's the thing. Like,
Right,
Denny,
and that
what
was
did
only
Denny say
because they didn't know how to set up the car, so they're blowing left rear
Yeah.
tires out of a camber. And
What did
And they didn't know how to pit stop the car, so a wheel would fall off.
Yeah.
Well, that's still
I mean,
happening.
That's
Still
apparently
have
that's
that.
still going on this year. But
Denny was, what did he say? That at one point the leader was running like a 15.9 and 32nd was running a 16 flat. Like 1/10 between the field. No wonder no one can pass. You can't do anything.
yeah, tie that together with what Jimmy Johnson was talking about last week on some sports radio show, that they're going to add a cap to racing teams
Yeah.
for the amount of money they can spend on equipment and personnel. It's like we have a sport where the majority of the team owners are billionaires.
Yep.
Let them spend that money.
Well,
Because it's not going to hurt things. It's going to make Matt Colleague sad. It's going to make Hayek sad. But hey, get a backer. You want to
That's-
be competitive? Get a backer.
that's how NASCAR always was.
Because right now we're at the top series and they are bending the knee to make the little guys fit in better when that's not what the point of it is.
Yeah.
The point of it is
not a
I want to
participation
get to the
trophy
Cup
sport.
Series because I want to get noticed by Rick Hendrick. I want to get noticed by Joe Gibbs and try to get in one of their cars. Now I can get in the Cup Series and race for Rick Ware,
we don't have a podium for
and
a reason.
I can be potentially competitive.
Look at all of growing up, all of the racing games we played, Dirt to Daytona. When you got to
Yeah.
Cup Series, you started in a shit team.
Yeah.
And you got noticed by the big. Now, like you said, yeah, you can get in a Rick Ware car and be way decently
I liked
competitive.
the idea of it, and I loved it at first because I was a Corey LaJoy fan, and he races for a small team. It's like, hey, he's going to get his chance. But it's like they put in the capital, so they now have a big bank sponsorship behind them. They can now afford to do stuff. Cool. More of that, please.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to keep like tiptoeing around these guys that can't afford it. If you can't afford to be in the Cup Series, cash in that charter that's worth $40 million and get out.
And
Because somebody else with more money, like Dale Jr., who is trying to get some freaking Fortune 500 company to back him, is going to come in and take that charter.
And you know what? And it's also, too, NASCAR needs to not just listen to the drivers. This whole, all the rules are so tight now. I think one of his guys on his show said it perfectly. It's like watching a football game, but they give you a list of these are the only 12 plays you can run.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
Yeah.
If you let the teams work on these cars like they used to, we see a change.
Yeah.
I think. I still don't think it's enough because the car is too good, but I think if you let things happen, if you let the smart people do smart things, it will get better.
I like that you said that because that's a good transition to where I wanted to go next. I wanted to say, now that we complain about it, and everybody complains about it, and they throw a fit, and this sucks, how do we fix it instead?
I know, here I was.
Instead of bringing an answer, I mean, most people just go up and throw a fit. We got to fix this. How?
I know.
Be
Here
constructive.
I was on Twitter last week giving Corey and Ryan praise for being positive and not being negative, and then we're just being negative.
Yeah, but that's a great transition because you started to turn that corner. How do we fix it?
I have a bunch of ideas.
Norm took notes today.
As an engineer myself, obviously I can design and create NASCAR Cup cars.
What, a janitorial engineer?
I'm an engineer.
It's a sanitation engineer.
Sanitation. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Those pipes have never been cleaner.
I'll clean your pipes.
This is all stuff that we've been talking about for 4 years.
I'll blow yours out.
I mean, first and foremost, composite bodies, get them the fuck out of here. Guess what?
I disagree with that, but go on.
I don't.
Hear me out. Street cars. We want to be more like street cars. Street cars have metal bodies for the most part. At least
Metal
back half.
bodies? Nice.
At least back half. You want to put plastic front fenders and plastic front bumpers on it? Cool, go for it. That rear quarter should be sheet metal. From the number back should be sheet metal. There should be a punishment for hitting the wall and hitting other cars. Right now, we see Kyle Larson drag it until the plastic's gone. We see these guys dooring each other. I mean, look at Martinsville in the truck race.
Larson dragged it at Homestead until you could see the honeycomb
Yeah,
of the fucking carbon.
Martinsville in the truck race. Corey Heim dominates the whole race. First time somebody gets side by side with him, doors him, cuts a tire down. We need that in the Cup Series. Stop letting these guys bounce off everything and get away scot-free.
Okay.
If we have sheet metal quarters, Ross Chastain, Carson Hocevar, these guys that are aggressive, Kyle Larson, they're going to bump you, move you out of the way. Guess what? They're going to risk damaging their car, blowing a tire, doing something. Joey Logano's car should have been fucking totaled after qualifying.
Yep.
Nope. They poured some hot water on it, popped the body panels back out. Because that's what plastic bodies do now. So
that is the greatest
That's
trick.
fucking
As the
phenomenal.
Saturn guy, you must love that.
Yeah.
Facts.
So I want metal from the
Time out.
from
That was
the
my
front wheel
favorite
back.
commercial ever when the bicycle fell in the garage. The Saturn commercial.
Oh, yeah. Fun
Yeah.
fact, if it gets too cold, you can just break them.
They just shatter.
Happened to at the dealership my dad worked at. One of the sales guys, it was a cold winter day. He went outside, was bragging about the plastic body panels, put his knee right through the fucking door. If it gets cold enough, it gets brittle and they crack. Like
Or the people that kick the ice off from behind their wheels.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
goes the entire side skirt.
Yeah.
All right. We did
Sorry,
that.
go on.
But yeah, I want metal body panels back.
Okay.
I like the idea of composite, but I mean, from day one of the next gen, we talked about how these things wreck and never look wrecked.
They don't.
Make them look wrecked again. Because guess what? Wrecked cars look cool. Not to mention there's a
Just
fucking
make cars
punishment.
wreck again.
there's an onslaught of body guys that finessed that fucking skill, got it down to fucking science. Back in the day, we used to see them freaking carve the Daytona cars for 6 months straight.
Yeah, they were carved
To
out
get
of
them perfect.
Yeah.
Those guys are all looking for jobs right now, and they're getting picked up by Xfinity and truck teams. Get those guys back in the Cup garage. Get them.
Doesn't Xfinity have composite now?
No, I think the rear ends are still metal.
Oh, okay. I thought those were composite.
But get those guys back in the garage.
No, it's a composite.
I was going to say, I think Xfinity's full composite.
No, I think the rear quarters are sheet
No.
metal.
I think it was a
Come back
change a
and look
couple,
it up.
year,
Carry
couple
on.
years ago.
Oh, you have a piece sitting right behind you that's composite. They might be fully composite now. I want sheet metal back on Cup cars.
Okay.
Because I think it's better. Smaller brakes. The number one thing we complain about every time we go to Martinsville, every time we go to a road course, if somebody misses their braking zone or gets hit from behind, guess what? They just slam on the brakes, those giant fucking dinner plates, stop the car on a dime, they turn and keep going.
Or they explode.
That too.
That's them doing that. They're cutting corners to make them
Pushing it.
lighter and stuff like that. I'm saying get rid of overall diameter of the brakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make stopping great again. And by that, I mean, make it so drivers
It's going
like
to be the
Shane,
biggest stop. It's going to be the best stop. You're going to
You gotta
stop.
do it the right
drivers
though.
like Ricky Rudd, Shane Van Gisbergen that are famous for heel towing and finessing their
Do the
brakes
voice.
and getting them into the corner.
He's doing the accordion right now.
I'm doing the weave. I'll come back to it. The guys that are famous for just being great at stopping cars and knowing how to use up all of their equipment to get into the turn, we don't have that anymore because you can just floor it, hit the brakes, turn and go.
Right.
Brakes are too big. And guess what? When we cut down the brake size, we can cut down the wheel size. I'm saying drop the wheels down to at least a
Yep.
17.
He's right. Xfinity cars are composite.
All right, so that must be fairly new then.
They're held by 13 interlocking panels held together by phalanges.
Yeah, I think that was a couple.
That's
That's your
dumb.
fingers.
It
That's
was-
terrible.
yeah. And on that subject of the brakes, I also would like to bring up get rid of fucking shifting. Because that's the other thing like we've talked
yeah.
about with Martins, like places
Yep.
like Martinsville. You go in the corner, you miss it by 5 feet.
Too hot.
That's good.
Cool.
So YouTube's going to suffer. The 3 people that are in there that aren't chatting are
I'm-
just not going to be able to look at us.
I'm going to go check it in a second. But
I wouldn't worry about it.
when you go in the corner and you miss your line, not only can you slam on the brakes and figure it out, drop a gear and disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. That doesn't work. We see it.
And that's also
Steve,
not
I
a,
got it.
that's also not an impossible fix. They were already testing out rear end ratios.
Right.
Like literally all you got to do is put a 410 back there or something like that. That's going to require you to either stay in high gear or stay in a low gear. So
Well,
yeah,
you're in the hot seat.
you drop down the brake rotor size and get smaller brakes on these things. I mean, we used to have what 14-inch rotors on these things, 13-inch rotors on them. Now we got damn near 18. It's too much brakes.
Yeah.
Drop the brakes down, and when you can do when you do that is you now can do a smaller wheel. Street cars still have 17-inch wheels. Put 17-inch wheels on there, you get an extra inch of sidewall. And that's one thing they complain about when these cars were all cracking loose and spinning, and they couldn't save them once they started spinning. It's because there's no sidewall.
Yeah.
The tires
Agree
don't.
100%.
The tires don't react the same way. There's no roll to them.
I like the single lug. I like the look of the
Yeah,
new
I'm
wheels.
fine
but
with it. They're
if you
used
just
to
step
it by
down to
now.
a 17, I bet that would make a huge
Yeah,
difference.
because you're getting an extra inch of tire, and I hate the excuse that BBS can't make a new wheel. The biggest wheel company in the fucking world can't design an inch narrower wheel or an inch shorter wheel.
Just kill it.
So yeah,
Okay.
17-inch wheels. Obviously, Goodyear's gonna need to make new tires, but they're already at that point anyway. They're
Right.
gonna need to make new tires, and 17-inch diameter, but width, bring them back down to a foot.
Yeah.
We ran 12-inch wide tires
Agree,
for
100%.
100
I know
years.
the wheels are 12 inches wide
Yeah.
now.
The things that I would love to see. I mean, I agree with a lot of things. Do you have any more on your list?
Yeah, a couple, but you
Okay.
can go.
I like the composite bodies. I like the ability to bounce off each other. I totally understand your point. I like that ability if they were racing closer because they can beat and bang without costing a whole race just from rubbing. Like what really set me off from that and why I say that is the Bristol race with Harvick and Elliott that they barely touched and cut down a tire. Like those instances, I hate when
Yeah,
it's
but
just
that was a
something
lot.
silly.
That was side skirt, I think.
Yeah,
When they flare out the bottom of the side skirts, they did it intentionally at Bristol.
yeah. It
You don't
could
have that
been an
issue with the
anomaly.
next gen. But if you
I
want
like
to do
the
that,
ability to rub.
we can do
you know?
that, but maybe weaker supports. So
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
hit the wall, you bend that little aluminum bracket underneath and it deforms the body. Guess what? You just got punished. It's not necessarily going to blow a tire.
Yeah.
Right, agree.
But that's
Um,
what I'm leaning on. But I miss the days of, honestly, I liked to crash race cars when I was a kid.
Yeah, 100%.
I liked looking
agree
at a
with that.
car and going, that thing's fucking crashed. Brendan
Um,
Poole's car is fucking crashed.
100% agree on smaller wheels, bigger
Yep.
sidewalls. No question.
Yep.
Because like you said, those when we saw people get really hurt, well, like when Noah snapped loose and went nose into the wall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like right when the next gen came out, like scary. When they lose it, it gets scary.
I think you said it in your notes. I don't know if you said it on here, but like go down to a 17. It's still relevant.
yeah,
to
that's
what
what we
you
were
guys
just talking
okay,
about,
you
yeah.
did talk about that. Yeah.
100% agree on the smaller brakes, make it more difficult. I would like to see just the independent rear disappear. I think that would make a huge difference.
I
Just-
I think it would too.
If they get rid of the independent rear end, keep everything else.
I think you could do
Smaller
it, but
brakes.
make it less adjustable. You can still have independent rear. That's modern. That is what it is. but get rid of the infinite amount of adjustments you have in the back end. Just make them fucking solid poly mounts all the way around.
Yeah.
You have your independent rear, you have your transaxle that you want, which that is also probably the biggest problem with this entire car is 50-50 weight distribution.
Yeah.
I didn't even put that on my notes. I just thought of it now because I was trying to think of like NASCAR's not going to want to re-engineer the entire car, but there are changes we can make around the exterior of the car that'll help it. But the 50-50 weight distribution is great for road racing.
Yeah. The easiest.
Miatas, Corvettes, they're great for road racing.
Yeah.
Guess what they're not great at? Getting sideways and drifting around corners at an oval. And
I understand your point on the steel body. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
No way. They're going to abandon it.
Yeah.
The smaller brakes, the smaller wheels, the smaller tires are fairly easy things.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps screaming for more power. Sounds like that's never going to happen. How do you fix this? You go with a smaller wheel with a bigger sidewall, smaller brakes. Those are the easier ways to fix this. It's not going to happen this year, obviously.
Yeah.
They have to do something. It has to have gotten to a point where they realize this.
Well, and Denny had a good
with
point.
no
too.
one showing up at Bristol.
Well, the spring race has always struggled, but then I thought that until I was scrolling through Twitter last night, and I think it was NASCAR Man had a video of the first. It was a fan video of the first like 20 laps in, I think it was 06, the spring race. Mobbed.
Yeah.
Sold out, asses in every seat.
I think they were saying it on the teardowns. Like people used to will these
They did.
tickets.
I remember when I went to the Bristol night race, the only reason, so that was in 03. The only reason I got to go was when me and my mom went to Indy in 02 for the F1 race. We became friends with the guys camped next to us, hanging out with them all weekend. Awesome people. I still have one of them was an artist. My mom had him. He did a handmade painting of Ralph Schumacher that I have
Oh, no shit.
for Christmas that year. But we became friends with them, and they had Bristol night race tickets. And I was 14, 15, and I was like, I love NASCAR. And he was like, well, I can't go next year. And my mom bought the tickets from him. That was the only way you could go, was if somebody died and willed them to you. There was a waiting list like 2 years long for tickets for the night race. Like
Dan had a little brother. She sold him to get those tickets.
Traded them,
That's
maybe.
probably
trade.
how much those tickets
Probably.
cost.
Straight trade. Yeah, it's
and
just
that's how it
ridiculous how we've
was.
gotten to this point.
Yeah. I mean, Denny had a good point. I never really thought about this. This car is so dependent on the underneath. All the downforce is made underneath. He was talking about how, that's why the car is, he was saying that the platform is all wrong, how it's ass down, nose up. So you get all the air underneath to get to the diffuser. And that's why when you get behind somebody, the car turns to shit. I don't remember this, but I guess one of the tests that they did back when this was the car, probably one of those Charlotte tests that they remember. They had like the 2-day Charlotte test where they were trying everything. He said they did a test there where they dropped the front down and had, not the ass wasn't up, but it was down. And he said it was unbelievable in traffic. But then as soon as you get out in front, it was like undrivable loose because there was no air getting on the.
Well, we've pointed out that they've slowly started to lower the front of these things. When they first, 2022, first introduced these cars, wheelies, they were all Carolina squatting, every single one of them.
Yeah.
They've gotten more and more level. They're still not there yet. I mean, 2016, 2017, remember Talladega or Daytona? They roll out for tech at Daytona, dragging every inch of those things on the ground with the Gen 6. Because they realized, hey, if no air gets underneath these things, no air will affect these things.
Yeah.
And these things right now, that's literally number 5 on my list. For funsies, get rid of the entire underbody of these cars.
Yep.
First of all, that'll fix the exhaust issues. You can run a legit exhaust on these things if you don't have an underbody.
Yep.
Because now you can route it however you need to.
That'll fix the heat issue inside
That'll
the
fix the
cockpit.
heat issue, the noise issue for the fans. We were talking about this a lot
in Discord this week.
Our group
Discord,
chat.
we were
Our
texting
group
with
chat.
W.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah, we were talking
about
about
it
it.
Discord too.
Oh.
We actually went back and found video from some of the initial next gen tests with the unmanufactured cars, like they were just the blank cars
Yeah.
when the exhaust was where they used to be. And it wasn't much better. It still kind of had the same like deep throaty, but I just don't know what it sounded like. I don't, in person, I don't know if it was louder or quieter, but these things are essentially open header now.
Yeah, open headers with no crossover.
Yeah.
So you pretty much have 2 V4s or 2 4-cylinders fighting against each other for
V4
noise.
is nice.
2
Straightforward.
inline 4s fighting against each other for noise. With a typical V8, the exhaust crosses an X pipe or an H pipe is what they call them. And the sounds kind of
Equalize.
harmonically balance
Yep.
each other out. And now instead of a bang here, bang here, bang here, bang here. They kind of mix together. And that's when you get a more, I mean, look at the like Ferraris and stuff like that has a V8 or a V10 in them and they sound like a fucking,
Oh, those are flat
like a
plane
sewing
too, but
machine?
yeah.
it's because of the design of the design of the exhaust ports and the engines.
Right.
These things, you have a fire breathing V8 engine, but you're only hearing 4 cylinders at a time. So they just sound like a Honda with the exhaust cut off. They're just loud and obnoxious with no tone.
They are.
They sound mean as fuck at idle and like
Yeah.
rolling around the garage. But like we were talking about in our group chat with W this weekend, I have never been an earplug person. These make me when we were at the Roval, I couldn't get to you fast enough to get earplugs because I was in pain, you know. But he brought it up. If you get the downforce out from under the car and back over the car, look at what you can do in Xfinity at a Bristol, at any of these tracks. You get up behind somebody, you can take the air away from their spoiler, and you don't even have to touch them. You can move them out of the way. You can get them crossed up. You can't do that in a next gen car because they're glued to the ground with the underbody force.
Yeah.
You can't get close to them. And then even if you do get close to them, close enough to hit them, what do we see every time you see somebody get bumped outside of Austin Dillon, who had to kamikaze
They just
in
go
there?
faster.
They just go faster, you know?
Yeah, you're pushing them ahead.
You're pushing them forward. You're not getting them out of shape. You're just bumping them forward.
Yeah.
I still think, I've said this a couple times, and I think it's something that needs to be explored because I don't want them to change these cars at all for 1.5 miles. Because the 1.5 miles have been some of the best fucking racing we've ever seen. I used to despise Charlotte, Vegas, Texas.
But is this just the second iteration of that? It's just flipped?
So, but what I'm saying is, what they need to do, because back then, when I'm going back to the Gen 6s, short tracks and road courses were awesome. They had to try to fix the intermediates. What did they do?
The 550.
Not the 550, but 2 packages. You don't need to run the exact same 670 package at every track. I'm not saying whatever, more horsepower or whatever, but I think you have a intermediate package that is exactly what it is now, because these cars, you bring them to Kansas, you bring them to Vegas, where those are the races of the year lately. You go to a Martinsville or a Bristol or even the road courses, that's where you give them smaller brakes, smaller wheels, smaller tires.
No underbelly.
Get rid of the underbelly, whatever you got to do. I'm not saying it needs to be more power, because back then, what was it? The 550 package and like the 850 pack. You remember they had all the power at short tracks, and which obviously they're
550 and like
770 maybe?
770 or
seven
something.
change, something like
You
that.
know, so but we know they're not going to give them more power. That's a
It's not
given.
going to happen.
But you could essentially re-engineer the car and have a mile and less package with smaller brakes, smaller wheels, smaller tires.
Something that they could do this year. Underbelly gone, smaller brakes.
probably.
That's what
They can't do the wheels this year. That
No,
takes
yeah,
too much.
That's not going to happen.
First of all,
No,
obviously they're not changing the
that
body.
was one of the things they were talking about where they were like, oh, the wheel prices because of tariffs. First of all, we have wheel companies in America that can make wheels. Put some American racing torque thrust on these
Jesus
motherfuckers.
Christ.
Bring back American beauties. You
Here
know what I'm
it co-
talking
here
about?
It comes. There it is.
But wheels
They would look
is,
hot.
wheels
Nah.
is totally feasible. BBS makes the best wheels in the world.
Yep.
Probably there are a few companies that even compete with them, but as far as overall touring type wheels, BBS is the GOAT. They can make a 17-inch, 8-inch wide wheel or whatever.
They
can
do.
make an 18-inch, 9-inch wide wheel, whatever they need to do.
17 by 10.
Yeah, whatever
The
they
cup
need to
wheels are a real wheel. They do exist in a
Yes.
17.
Yeah.
Yes.
do. They can also, Goodyear can also make tires. It's going to take longer than the wheels
Yeah.
to engineer a tire. But this is stuff we can do for next year.
Yes.
The
I'm talking about
underbody-
what we could do for
Yeah,
now.
underbodies,
I
we can
think
take
if-
them off. Brakes, I don't know if they probably could, but you needed to redesign all the hubs and stuff like that. Brakes, it's possible they could do them this year. Next year, guaranteed. That's not hard.
I think brakes would probably be possible for this year.
Maybe.
I think you
For
would need,
short
you would need
tracks-
all new hubs. If not, some companies going to have to make adapters real quick to mount the calipers. Because you got to think
Yeah.
calipers are hard mounted in
Caliper
a certain
brackets,
spot.
yeah.
You take an inch out of that rotor, and now you're mounting a different caliper. You need to make custom calipers to now align with those new holes,
Yeah.
or some sort of adapter to change the hole placement.
Yeah.
Either way, it's feasible. It's not impossible.
Yeah. But regardless, at what point does NASCAR admit this? Like
Never.
they've been
That's the
ignoring
problem.
this forever.
They won't. And I think it needs to be a collaborative effort between NASCAR and the teams because NASCAR is all about saving everybody money. I've heard that you hear this all the time in like gambling. Scared money don't make money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're scared, if you want the teams to save money, but you're gonna ruin the fucking sport at the expense of it, you need to spend the money to make this right so you don't lose the sport.
I think I saw.
You know what I mean? If you go full cost savings and we don't do anything, and that's the always the cop out. We're trying to save money. We're cost cutting. We're cost cutting. We're cost cutting.
We're getting ready for that new manufacturer that's never coming.
You need to not cost cut for the sake of saving this damn sport because you keep doing this. You keep putting this fucking product out on the track at Martinsville, at Bristol, which used to be Martinsville, Bristol, and Richmond used to be appointment TV.
Yeah.
You used to clear the schedule for Bristol night race week. You used to
100%.
clear the schedule for, remember when Richmond was the cutoff race to the chase? That was like, don't call me all weekend. I'm busy.
Yeah.
Now, Richmond's on. I don't even give a shit.
Yeah, I'm watching YouTube on my phone.
Yeah, Bristol. If you would have told me 20 years ago, well, it'd be weird that I'd be watching on my phone, but the fact that I would rather watch golf on my TV and the race on my phone and barely pay attention to my phone all day at that for a fucking Bristol race. Are you kidding me? And now, like, I see any of these tracks that used to be the greatest races of the year on the schedule, and I'm like, I can miss that one.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it wasn't for us doing this show and me needing to kind of know what the hell happened this weekend, I wouldn't even bother watching those races because they're boring. They're terrible.
Also, adversely, we're running to the TV to watch Kansas.
Oh, my God. 100%. I can't wait for the next.
So that's the glass half full, though.
Granted, I can't wait. I mean, this is normal to not be able to wait for the 600, but the 600 has been a banger for the last 3 years. I am so excited for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So there is the good with the bad, but the bad is bad.
And you're now ruining your history. What the track, the fact that people are like, I hate Martinsville, I hate Bristol. Those are your marquee. The cornerstones of your sport. It was easy back in the 90s or in the early 2000s to say, "Oh, I hate Vegas." The track was 10 years old. Like,
and whoever thought we would be screaming at the top of our lungs for them to not get rid of Fontana.
yeah, when I was a kid,
Fontana weekend. Never mind.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was exactly what I just described, but flipped. It was the 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
And they just need to do
just weird.
I think. I mean, I don't know.
He's got something.
I just remember growing up, we called them cookie cutter tracks.
Oh,
'cause
cookie
they was
cutters. Yep.
Yeah.
So boring, and then
really? They're building another one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even watch that weekend because you're like, all right, well, this race is gonna suck. Why even put it on?
Yeah, copy paste. Copy
It was
paste.
the
Yeah,
Copy paste.
it
exactly.
was the boom of NASCAR, and they wanted to build big tracks with a ton of seats. So what's the easiest thing to do? Build a D-shaped 1.5 miles. We got
Beep.
Yep. So what do we have?
Beep.
We had Vegas,
Texas,
Copy,
Texas,
print.
Charlotte,
Charlotte. Well,
4
Charlotte was the OG.
Atlanta.
You got Vegas, Texas. They changed Atlanta into a D oval because that was not a D oval in the 90s. Then
Chicago.
you got Chicago, Kentucky, Kansas. All of these tracks, it was like you said, they just went, I like that. Copy, paste, copy, paste.
Yeah,
copy.
Rusty Wallace flew out to Iowa and goes, I shall build it here.
Yeah. Freaking Excel spreadsheet, copy, paste all. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for NASCAR is reactive, they're never proactive. Look at all the concussions.
facts.
Second, the next gen comes out, drivers are going, these things fucking hurt when you hit stuff.
Yep.
I ran over a jack handle on pit road and fucking
Out 4 to
my
6.
left leg fell off.
4 to 6.
And NASCAR's like, yeah, that sucks. You should hold on tighter. And then Kurt Busch crashes, career-ending injury. Next season or same season, Bowman crashes. He's out for half a year. Now NASCAR's like, maybe safety is an issue.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have another person die. And I think Ricky Harden is who I saw posted this on Twitter. He goes, NASCAR won't react until the viewership tanks.
Yeah.
Once IndyCar is consistently beating the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, F1, these things that Cup just looms over and smokes by triple digits.
Honestly, Xfinity is climbing fast.
It is.
And the CW is to thank, I think, for a lot of that. One, because the Cup's racing kind of sucks. Xfinity is better 90% of the time at this point. CW is doing a bang-up job, and Fox is just an embarrassment. let's not even bother talking about that.
Nope.
Because we keep complaining about it every fucking week, and it's never going to change, and they don't care about putting on another
They
product.
are so checked out. It's not even
why
funny.
do like you? I'm not even giving it any time.
Yep.
But
I'm gonna give it
you're-
time.
at
They
what-
suck.
Are you? At what point are you going to make a change before you're screwed? But like you said, they're reactive, not proactive. So it's going to be too late by the time they make a decision. They're going to lose so many people.
Put it this
Yeah,
way.
we're going to lose a Bristol date. We're going to lose a Martinsville date. They already lost a Richmond date.
Yeah, put it this way. You know that they watch the Gluck poll. 20%.
It's going to be the worst race of all time.
But
on
like
his poll.
no, he's there's another one that was I think was 17. I think is the worst ever.
Coke 600 when
Nope.
when
Nope.
MTJ
It's I
dominated.
think it was a. They were. I think they talked about it this week. I think it was a Martinsville race, if I remember correctly.
Maybe.
But like some of the stats that came out yesterday are just painful. Steven Stumpf, Darlington and Bristol marked the first time the Cup Series has seen back-to-back races with 4 or few lead changes since 76-77.
It's bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
So we don't have all the answers. We're not engineers, but
That being
Lord
said,
Almighty, something has to
the
happen.
one thing we are not recommending, and we will never recommend, is covering Bristol in fucking dirt again.
No, I saw so
All
many.
right? Get
Dude,
that out of your fucking
Dude,
mouths.
the
all right?
fucking recency bias on some people. I saw people on Twitter yesterday. This is what they took from us, and it was highlights of the dirt race. And I'm like, y'all were screaming that the dirt race sucked, and now
I wasn't. I enjoyed it.
I
fucking
hated
hated
it.
it.
I hated it.
I didn't hate it at all.
I mean, I didn't hate
If you
it.
want fucking Cup drivers to race in dirt, bring back
Prelude to the Dream.
Prelude to a Dream. I keep wanting to say Drive to Survive.
Send him to Eldora.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Prelude to the Dream
Yeah.
was cup drivers and dirt late models that were painted like their cup
You know
cars.
what I want for Prelude to a Dream? Put all the current Cup drivers in Xfinity cars. That is a dream.
Yep.
That is a dream I would love to live.
But
Yeah.
I didn't hate the dirt experiment. I just hated that it was Bristol. Like, again,
Right.
go to a dirt track.
They have so many purpose-built
The
ones. Yeah.
first time they did it, I was like, all right, let's see what you guys are doing. I don't love it, but let me see what you're doing. Then the first race sucked ass. It was a dust bowl. You couldn't see an inch in front of you. And I was like, okay, this is dumb. Let's never do this again. Then they did it for 3 more years.
Yeah.
Scumbag, pull up Rockingham on Wiki, and we're gonna serve up the stat sheet and preview Rockingham.
Oh, you're just trying to kill time here?
Oh, why not? I mean, we've kind of beat this to the pulp.
Yeah,
Might as well
I just,
have it.
like you said, we don't have the answers, but something has to be done because this, I feel like for the last 3 years, we get to this part of the schedule. We get to that stretch where it's Martinsville, Bristol. I think Richmond was usually around this time too before they lost a date this year.
Yeah.
And it was always, we always came out of it saying the same thing. What the fuck is going, what are we going to do? Now, I think the later races, the Bristol night race, obviously that was a snoozer last year, and Martinsville in the fall, the only saving grace with those is that the urgency is kicked up because they're playoff races.
Yeah, and it's just
they're
like a
cutoff
temperature
races.
difference. But like,
Well, that
I-
makes those races usually a little bit better because
it definitely helps, and there's some cheating involved, I'm sure. But like,
Yeah, I also
it bothers me, I think, the most that NASCAR doesn't say anything about
they
it.
just put their head in the sand.
They just completely ignore it. Let all of the media, all of the fans just lose their goddamn minds about this and beat it to a pulp like we're doing and every other podcast is doing.
Yep.
And they don't say shit.
They bury their
don't-
heads in the sand and just
They're going the
La,
route
la.
of Formula One. Like, look at the
La, 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 la,
disaster
la.
that Formula One was in Vegas year 1.
yep.
All the fans that got screwed out of tickets, they got kicked out of the grandstands during practice, lost all their money. They didn't care. No refunds. Fuck yourself, whatever. NASCAR's heading in that same direction because they're putting on a shit product and they don't care and they're not saying anything about it. Not, hey, we're working on it. We know that the racing isn't great, whatever. Just ignoring it.
And unfortunately, we've talked about this in the past that NASCAR is so dependent on
Go down a little more there.
ooh, amenities.
That's what I wanted. Size.
Oh, size queen.
enhance. Enhance.
A little down. Yeah, configurations. That works.
So NASCAR has become so TV dependent. And I actually saw, I
Yeah.
think Dale
Mhm.
Tanhart said it perfectly. He was at the race yesterday. He said, I had a great time. If you go to a race, it is still a good time, no matter how the race
I mean,
is.
we're the guys that have been saying that for years because we've been going to Loudon.
We go to
since we were
Loudon and
kids.
Pocono,
Mm.
two that can be some of the most boring races out there.
Yeah.
Fully admit it.
I'm
But-
afraid they're going to go the gimmick route. And I like the option tires because it proved that we could have a tire that wears out. I don't like them having 2 different tires. I think that's too gimmicky. And I'm afraid they're going to try to go that route with Bristol, and we're just going to see
Oh, they already
sep-
came out and said that they're not doing that.
two separate
Yeah.
races at the same time that just come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
the astounding thing to me is people came out and said that they liked the tire thing and they got pretty solid ratings on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're not doing that again.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it worked. We saw different strategies.
Yeah,
It,
I think
was working.
It just proves that you can put a tire that wears out on these cars.
Yeah,
This Bristol tire,
but
they
that's
have
a good temporary
no
fix
idea
until
what
they
they're
figure
doing.
out the car.
It's a Band-Aid.
Throw a bunch of tires at people. Here's your options. Fuck up one way or the other. You give everybody the exact same shit. That's what we're talking about. Everyone's got nowhere to go. At least that puts in a, yes, is it gimmicky? Sure. But at least it's something.
Yeah.
It's something to vary the strategy. It's not the same shit.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think it should be just one good set of tires. But at this point, I'll take anything. I'll take anything I can get that there's some fall off somewhere, some strategy involved when some people, like, how much fun did we have on the option tire seeing just like Priest mow through
Yeah.
the damn field? Like, that was sick.
Yeah.
What did we see this weekend? Absolutely nothing.
I hate the people that are like, oh, well, bring back old Bristol. This is what old Bristol was, and it's Jeff Gordon winning by a lap.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, but back then, the message after the race was Ray Everham built him a fucking unbeatable car.
Right.
They came prepared. They came to play. The Jimmy years. Yeah, Chad Knaus built him fucking cars that could not be beat. Figure out what they're doing. We were never talking about, yeah, Jimmy only won all those races because people were stuck behind him and no one could pass anybody.
That's the thing. Yeah, Kyle Larson dominated yesterday. You put Joey Logano in the same spot, he dominates that race. He started in the back because he wrecked in qualifying. He was a lap down, 10 laps in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you put...
Well, actually, it was the first stint was the only one that gave anybody hope because they were going at half throttle.
Yes.
So no one went a lap down for 50 laps.
So I saw somebody, oh, that was a belt to ass whooping by Larson. Yes, it was. But if you switch him and Denny leads 350 laps.
Yeah, it's
And
not the
you know
same
what I mean?
as what was that, Wilkesboro?
Wilkesboro, that was a belt
That
to
was
ass.
that was an ass whooping, but he had the best car and he was the best driver that night.
Larson at home.
No one could touch him. This race, it was literally put whoever you want in the front,
And
and
they're gone.
odds are they can do the same
Yeah,
thing.
Larson at Homestead in the Xfinity race.
I broke everything.
That
Jesus
was
Christ.
Larson and Xfinity at Homestead in the Xfinity car. That was a belt to ass whooping.
It's gone forever.
Norm lost his vape and decided he had to kick my table.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
So, yeah, we don't have all the answers, but we got to figure something out.
It's ridiculous.
So moving on, this weekend, no cup race. Let them lick their wounds from getting murdered.
We're going to
by
be the only, I
Larson.
think we're going to be the only podcast next week because every podcast I've listened to is not doing one
Might
next
be.
week.
But this weekend we have Trucks and Xfinity at Rockingham.
It's
for
back.
the first time in a long time. What's it been, 12 years
Something like that, yeah.
ish? Rockingham is currently a 1.017 mile.
D oval.
That's what I want.
22 degrees in the first two turns, 25 in 3 and 4, 8 degrees on the straights. That does have the bank back straightaway, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, Rockingham was always one of my favorite on Sims and our 2003 iRacing.
Oh, lost it again.
Because it's not your cookie cutter track. It is
Yeah.
so different that I can't believe they let it die.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's like
I'll get up in a minute. And
for
fix it.
years we complained about the cookie cutters, Charlotte, Atlanta, Texas, Vegas. And then we had Rockingham, just the diamond in the rough. And they just let it die.
Yep.
Like Wilkesboro back in the day. They just
Yeah.
let it die. And it's like, this was so different. It was good.
Well, Wilkesboro died for us. So
Yeah. Well, I hope it comes back, and I hope it puts on a great
Yeah.
show
And
because
like
we
I-
could use it.
Like I said in the pregame, it's Casey Kane Friday this week, boys.
It
Fucking
is Casey
Casey
Kane
Kane
Friday.
Friday.
We
Very
will see
true.
Casey Kane in the Xfinity Series. I'm excited for a non-cup, no cup, other two race weekend to see how well the TV ratings do to watch the two races that are on
I think it's going to be huge.
and how much positivity comes out of it. I hope that the Xfinity Series puts on a goddamn show. So we'll see. But
We
yeah,
got
that's
Koresh Kothan? What was Koresh Kothan
Koresh Kothan, yeah.
in the
Koresh
chat?
Kothan.
Django. I think it's the first time I've seen
I
him
haven't
in
seen
the
Django in a
YouTube
while.
chat. What up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? How's Alaska?
You're right. I am way out of the way. It is hot as I get why the camera's shutting off. It's hot as balls in here.
It is. It's a little toasty.
Yeah, there's a lot of electronics running.
It
Four
feels
dudes.
like it's 15 degrees warmer, so our tires are not going to wear out.
Yeah,
in here.
Yeah.
All these diecasts are safe from tire
We
wear.
need to get like another fan in here, like a box fan.
I got two.
Perfect.
We brought in
Yeah.
Scumbag. He was a fan of ours.
Hey,
Yeah, sure.
Hmm?
Yeah, running all this stuff at the same time.
Oh, I
It's
know.
gonna
Yeah, I get
cook.
it. I understand why it's hot in here. We just need to come up with a solution.
Yeah, we gotta get some fans.
Is that window
Uh,
open?
It does not.
Damn it. Can we break it?
Skylight. Yeah, let's replace it. We'll answer some questions. If you are in the live chat, feel free to fire them up. I don't know if there's anybody still left in there, but
Yeah,
anyway.
there's a few, even though we don't have video. I'm going to go turn it back on in a second because
Great.
It's
All right, we'll
letting
start
it cool
with
down for a
Jet
second.
Daily in the bottom. Gen 7 has killed my favorite track. Yep, we just talked about that endlessly.
to be fair, the reconfigure of Bristol didn't help either when they added progressive banking in 07. That did
you're
not
not
be
wrong.
Yeah,
Robert.
I'm
You're not
honestly, I'm with Jed on this one. I'm going to start calling it the Gen 7 because I'm ready for the next gen.
It's a good point. I like
What
that.
is the next gen? Because this one sucks.
Why couldn't the norm curse continue?
Who did I pick? Denny?
Yeah.
Hey, he didn't win.
They didn't.
He
No,
got
they
me a
did not.
shit ton of points, though.
Ronan H21, our boy Ronan in the chat. Is that a pigeon or a chicken, Kyle? That would be a freedom chicken on my back.
Would have been cooler if you got the Trans Am one.
Oh, just a giant TA bird on the
Hell
back.
yeah.
Dude, that would be a sick chess piece. Like, Ben's got the freaking owl. Hutch had the wolf.
Hutch had the wolf. Or
Just
bear,
show up with a
whatever it was.
Trans Am fucking bird on your chest.
Be wild.
Wicked wow wow.
Sam Valley 95 will we be surprised if they replace the spring Bristol race?
Yes.
I'd be surprised, but not at the same time, especially with all of these calls for, I saw a couple posts recently of like, how do we get Chicago and Kentucky back on the schedule?
Right.
Or let's say the Rock.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like this next one. Sam Valley 95. What driver would you want to be their PR person?
Bowman.
Kyle Larson in 2020. I mean,
Jesus.
uh,
Was the biggest come up
Dan-
of the century? You get
Dan's
fired
just over his
takes-
shoulder. Say it again.
You get a 6-month vacation and then get promoted.
yeah. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me now? Who? Brad Perez.
Oh, bread?
Yeah, you
Yeah, but then you gotta go to the hauler when he puts some ridiculous podcast on the back of his truck.
True.
Yeah, but you get 6 months of vacation time with Brad, too.
True.
That's true.
I like the Bowman idea. I feel like Bowman would be fun.
Noah.
Noah.
Noah would
No,
be a
that's a
hard fight.
nightmare.
Oh,
dude.
actually, that'd be an awful
Absolutely
job.
not. I'm trying to think like middle ground, like
Yeah,
has a
what's-
good amount of sponsors, but I don't have to do a lot. Like Dale Jr. would be awesome because Dale's awesome, but he's so busy. Like you're working 24/7.
Todd Gilliland.
Todd would probably be McJesus.
There you go. That's
He's
an
got
easy
some
one.
sponsors.
No.
Good
He is
driver.
never going to step
nice
a foot
guy.
out of line.
Nothing.
You're never going to have to
Yeah,
put
but you
out
gotta
a
go to
statement.
you gotta go to church with him 4 times a week.
Good point.
He
That's
might,
a good
he might
point.
adopt you too.
That's a good point. He might try to adopt me. That's a good
Just
point.
add another one to the crew.
Who
PR, that's
else?
tough.
You got anybody scumbag jumping out at you?
Keselowski, I feel like would be fun.
It'd be a short career.
Yeah,
That's
it'd be
fine.
really short
Yeah,
business.
that's true. You know who actually would be great would be Chase Elliott because he doesn't do
He doesn't do
anything.
shit.
He doesn't go anywhere. He
Yeah,
doesn't
but
do
talking
anything.
him into doing anything is impossible.
Chris Busher. You get to go to Prosper, Texas.
Do a lot of Prosper.
Yeah.
Is he from
Like-
Prosper, Texas?
I think
You
so.
got to think, who are the guys like Joey Logano?
Who would you
'Cause he just
not
says
want to
yes.
be a PR guy
Noah.
for? Noah, Denny.
Ty
Yeah,
Gibbs.
Hamlin for sure.
Ty.
I think Logano is like a double-edged sword.
Ross.
You don't have to
Yeah,
fight him on
Chastain.
anything. 'cause
Austin
he,
Hill.
He
Austin
does.
Hill.
He'll do
Anybody
anything.
at RCR.
Sammy Smith.
Yeah, because you got the real PR person sitting in the office with all the deer in it.
Yeah, no, because all you're gonna be doing for PR is cleaning up after RC just drives into somebody else's
Yeah.
door in traffic.
All right, Austin, we got to go to our 75th Bass Pro premiere today.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Teresa.
You can't be PR for someone who hasn't been seen in
True.
20 years.
True.
That's a fun question. though.
Clint Boyer.
Oh, God.
Jesus, that'd be a disaster. All right, question for Dan.
Oh,
Also
boy.
say
Here we
no.
go.
Would you rather attend the Masters or the Indy 500?
Ooh.
Less walking at the Indy 500.
I'm going Masters. That's the fact that you have to win a lottery to get tickets to it. Like,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
wild.
the atmosphere too. It's the fact that like you can't bring your phone in, and it's just like you get to live in the moment.
They force you to, which is
It's
fantastic.
awesome. And like we were talking about while you were gone, just everything about it, like the concession prices are insane. It's like going to your local dirt track. Like a beer is like $3.
At the Masters?
Oh yeah, you've never seen
Is
the
it
menu board?
really? No.
So they have like their famous. It's the pimento cheese sandwich is like $1.50.
No
Like
shit.
all the concessions, I think the most expensive thing I saw
I would have
the board.
expected like F1.
Nope. The most expensive thing there, concession wise, I think is like $5 or $6.
No shit.
It's insane because they make $70 million in merch. Because I was explaining to him,
well, it's good. They're not greedy.
because it's a lottery. You know, let's say we're the three of us are golf buddies, and you win the lottery to go to the Masters. You're gonna buy yourself a ton of shit. We're gonna be like, yo, grab me a shirt and a hat and a fucking. I saw a reel of they were stopping people on the, you know, I think this was on like Wednesday or Thursday, asking them. Everybody was like, yeah, I spent $2,000. I spent $1,500. I spent $3,000. Oh, 1 year I spent $5,000. Like, it's insane. So the concession prices are out of this fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the lottery system for the Masters. That's like a one. There's guys that try for 20 years to get tickets. Indy, you could just buy tickets, you know?
Yeah.
But I would go to both of them.
It's a good question. I like that one. All right. We got Downriver Diecast with a couple. What is your Mount Rushmore of races to attend if you could this year? We've done this one before,
I think
but
so, yeah.
but we'll do it anyway. We'll just say this year started. Hasn't started yet, I guess. Indy,
Yep,
Dover,
maybe.
Mexico,
I was going to say Mexico.
Chicago Street.
I was going to have Mexico and Chicago on my list just because those, I want to check out the Chicago Street
I want to
course.
see the things that aren't going to happen forever.
Yeah.
You know, like I can go to Bristol, hopefully 20 years from now. They're not going to be doing Chicago Street maybe even 2 years from now. So
Yeah,
that's why thought
I
that
would
one.
agree with you on Chicago and Mexico just because I want to go see them. Probably
Right.
Mexico's going to be insane. I think the fans down there are nuts.
Yep.
So we're not doing races that already happened.
No, you can.
Oh, okay. I don't that I really care. This year, Rockingham this weekend.
Yeah.
I want to go back for the revival of Rockingham. I think I'd agree with you on Indy, either Indy or Daytona summer.
Yeah.
Daytona at night, cutoff race.
Yeah.
You know,
Norm?
Daytona 500. I'd like to go every year. I'm trying to start my 56-year streak.
true.
Coke
You're
600.
not gonna live another
Oh,
6
fuck.
years.
Coke 600.
Yeah,
I forgot
Coke
about
600.
that. I forgot about that.
You're
Talladega
gonna be
from
87. You're not making that far.
Talladega from the Boulevard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the fourth one's the toughest. I don't know, like Sonoma would be wicked fun. Go up to Cali.
Yep.
I didn't think it's Sonoma.
Coda. Super jealous. You guys went last year. I think it'd be fun to go to Coda.
Yep.
It
But
is
it's
fun to
so
go to Coda.
early in
Promise
the
you
year.
that.
I don't know if I could do Daytona and then Coda.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
That-
wasn't
that'd
bad
be
last year
tough.
because it was like we had Daytona, then Coda was until the end of March.
Yeah, it was a decent
This
spread.
year it was the first
They
weekend
were on
of
top of each
March.
other, yeah.
I'll
Scumbag,
throw-
what do you got for a Rushmore? Any?
Bowman Gray.
Oh,
Good answer. Cold, though.
That'd be
answer.
fun.
Good answer.
might be cold.
That's all right. Sonoma.
Yep.
I want to do Coda again.
Yep.
And probably Dega.
Yep, I'm all right
Yeah.
with that. That's
Yeah.
a good list.
Good answers.
Good answers. Good answers.
Good answers. Good answers. Show me Dega. All right. Downriver Diecast. When do you think the NASCAR Netflix show will come out?
Dude, what happened to mid-April? It's mid-April. I haven't heard a fucking thing about it.
It is almost exactly mid-April.
Yeah, and even Byron, I heard a thing. I was
Try to
actually
Google
looking
that. See if they updated the.
they
when.
haven't. I looked this up like a week ago. They haven't said shit about it. I did find like a Reddit post about it. Somebody said there was a Byron interview where he was doing something for it, and he said early mid-April. Well, we're there, and I haven't.
Well, here we are.
They haven't said. Normally, they'll tease it like a week before it comes out. They haven't
Yeah.
said shit.
Haven't seen anything. What's one driver you wish you could have every diecast made for them?
Current or
Yeah, whatever. All time.
My dad owns most of them, but I will take
Same.
every single Dale Jr. Cup and Xfinity paint scheme.
yeah,
That's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
I didn't think I had one, but I think that might be it.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you.
Like Harvick ran bangers from the start to the end of his career,
Yeah.
but Junior
I
is
have
just
a lot
every
of 'em.
Xfinity scheme Junior has ever run has been good.
yeah,
He ran a bunch of great Cup cars, but just like every iteration of the Bud scheme, then you throw in the National Guard, the
Yeah.
AMP, Mountain Dew. Like Junior ran pretty much bangers from start to finish as well.
I don't want every single Harvick because like towards the end of the career, like Bush is so good at this. They put out cool schemes all the time. He had so many options. Like there's hundreds of Harvicks. Like I wouldn't know what to do with them all.
Yep.
But like junior was still like towards the end of like not being able to change it every 5 seconds.
Yep.
So there's not as many junior schemes per se. Don't quote me on this. It could be wrong, but it feels like there's not as many. It'd be sick to just have the iterations of each one.
Yeah.
He ran probably 2 or 3 special schemes a year with
Something
Bud.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Bud
he-
was
well
Bud
towards
was
the end of
very
Harvick, it
tough.
was a new scheme every week.
Yeah, but they ran the baseball car,
And they had to
ran like
fight for
3 or
that.
4 of those.
They had to
Yeah.
fight for the baseball car because Bud didn't want him to go away from the
Yeah.
red car.
But his Xfinity, dude, he had fun. As soon as he like fully owned Junior Motorsports, he's just like, I want a throwback scheme every time I drive
Yes.
this thing.
Yeah.
I think junior's a good answer. You got
Yeah.
anything to add to that?
Mark Martin, because he's been on so many different teams.
He's had some good ones
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're talking all the Valvoline schemes, the Army car,
Dude,
the
I would
Kellogg's
take
car,
a
yeah.
55
Folgers.
Aaron's.
Folgers,
Oh, I
Like-
forgot about the Martin Folgers
the
days.
Strohs,
Yeah.
Those
the
were
Stroh's
good.
car,
Stroll's
The old Win
car.
Dixie, dude.
yeah, the
Win
Winn-Dixie
Dixie.
car,
Yep.
yep.
Hell yeah. All right, L98 Jake. Any room in the tub for the Bowman fans?
Bro.
I was saying to Dan earlier, it's tough having a favorite driver because it's like, dude, 3 weeks in a row of just devastation.
Just bad luck.
And it's like first week it was pit crew, and then the second week it was him, and then this week it's like finally, dude, gets the pole. He's gonna run top 5 all day. It's gonna be an amazing points day for him. Hey, we're blowing up. Really?
Yeah.
Like when was the last time we saw a Hendrick car blow up? It's
Yeah.
been a couple years.
Yep.
When's the last time we've had this many motors expire? in
I
a
was going to
season?
say,
Yeah.
this feels
Early.
like the old days.
Yeah.
I mean,
Was that
Only
4?
10 in?
that's got
Was
to be
that 3 or 4?
Blaney's had 2.
Blaney's
Bowman's
had 2 on his
1.
own.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Downriver Diecast again. Have you guys checked out Daniel Suarez's vlog, and did you like him?
I
I
watched.
didn't know he
haven't
was
watched
doing
any
a vlog.
I've watched a clip. I remember the clip that went viral after the whole Catherine Legg thing at Phoenix.
Yeah.
There was a clip of him from the vlog in his
Yeah, and
bus.
he's just stripping.
Yeah, he's getting, hey,
It's like,
get-
Daniel, you're married, sir.
Yeah, we
Simmer
can
down.
leave this to the imagination, but it was him talking about the incident and like
Yeah,
how he was pissed
I saw
about
that.
NASCAR. Yeah, that's from his vlog. I've never watched a whole one though, but it looked pretty good.
I'll have to give him a.
I'll say this real quick. We were talking about this kind of stuff when Corey released the Stacking Pennies one. And they're keeping going with that with the whole Stacking Pennies YouTube thing.
Yeah.
It's great. My problem when drivers do this is now the 4th or 5th driver that started a vlog. When you do it too professionally, it loses its personality.
Right.
Like Larson does it, Bubba does it, Suarez does it, Corey does it. When you have like a full production crew and it's like a movie every week, that's not the feeling people want from YouTube. People want you to vlog on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
not really a
guys.
vlog if
Yeah,
it's
hey
got a
guys,
production crew.
I'm in the shop today. We're fitting seats and modifieds. Hey guys, me and Owen are working on our dirt cars this weekend. Just like when it's you holding the camera,
knew where I
it
was
feels
You got to
it
make
feels
the
way
YouTube
more
face on
personal. It feels like we're involved. When you just have a camera guy following you around and it's the quality's too good and they've edited all the shots,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, all right, cool, dude. I feel like
Takes
you're
the-
doing
I
a
did-
puff piece for Fox right now.
I did think that
Right.
the Corey one was great. The
It
hit for the
is.
Freedom 500 vlog was great.
But I don't want these guys to overdo it with the production crews and stuff like that. Like Bubba's, I've watched a bunch of Bubba's. They're great. Bubba's, we've said it a million times, he's an absolute riot this year. He's just having fun with everything. His YouTube stuff has been super good.
Yeah.
But it's too much.
Right.
Like a little bit more casual behind the scenes is what I think people really would want to see. Or at least that's what I look for when I'm watching YouTube and stuff like that. I watch a lot of YouTube and
Yeah.
you
I
and your
agree with you
buddies filming
wholeheartedly.
in the garage.
It feels
is
more
better.
authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan Danforth. What are 3 things that you would need to have in your dream man cave?
TV,
Beer fridge,
beer fridge,
massive TV.
comfy couch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Check,
I'm
check,
good.
check.
TV, sim rig,
Yeah, that too.
pool table.
I guess we're sitting on the pool table to watch the TV.
You can stand.
That's fine.
You can stand. As
Or
long
like
as,
a nice card table.
as long as there's enough room at the pool table to actually play pool, unlike the house in Charlotte.
We made do.
I remember on certain shots you had to get the little
Yeah, yeah,
the
you
little
get the
short
stubby
stick.
stick.
I would love
Anything
to
to add to
honestly.
that list?
I'd have a bar, sim rig, and a giant TV.
Oh,
Yeah, you can sit at the bar.
I figured,
Yeah,
I
the-
figured you were going to say grow tent.
Nah, that's fine.
The bar
You don't
is
buy that. It's cheaper around here.
the bar isn't necessary for me. I
Yeah.
don't really need it.
Beer fridge
So that's
works.
why I'm thinking like a card table or a pool table or something.
I think the fridge though, because like if you're in the man cave, like you maybe made food outside, so
Yeah.
like, you could put stuff in
Yeah.
it.
yeah, keep
Food and
some
drinks.
yoo-hoos in there.
Yeah. Yoo-hoo's a little rum. And that does it for the Instagram questions. I believe we had some in Disco, right?
Yep.
Looks like
Yeah.
We got a
two of them.
couple. First
my
one I
sniffles,
saw
allergies are starting
was
to go.
Django.
Unchained.
Rank your top 5 drivers that had beer sponsors.
Dale Jr., sorry,
Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick.
Ken Schrader.
Mark Martin.
Ken Schrader was in the Bud car. Yep.
Yeah.
Mark Martin was in the Stroh's car. You had Sterling in the Coors,
Sterling,
Rusty
yeah.
with Miller,
Oh man, Brad K.
Brad
Yeah.
Kay. Yeah.
Rusty with the old Miller car.
All right, Rusty.
Kurt Busch in the 2.
All right,
Yeah.
we got to if we're gonna rank them. Who?
Dale Jr.'s number
Dale
1.
Jr.'s number 1.
Dale Jr.'s number 1.
Harvick. If we're talking about talent and success,
I'm going
and-
Harvick Budweiser though.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he was a little bit more raw back then.
I'm gonna go.
Rusty had Miller pretty much his
Rusty.
entire
Yeah.
successful
Rusty.
career.
Yeah.
You think Brad K?
Yeah.
I would say Brad K.
Probably.
Yeah.
The problem with Brad K is like they lost Miller. So like it's no longer his identity. Like
Yeah.
obviously we know Brad K is Miller number 2.
Who was the last one you given it to?
I just Sterling Martin.
I love Kenny Schrader.
He didn't do much in that car.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sterling in the Coors car. Kyle
The Silver
Petty in the
Bullet
Coors
was-
car. Probably Bill,
Clint in the
Bill
Jack
Elliott.
car. Oh, wait, no, that's
Oh,
not beer.
yeah.
Bill Elliott in the Coors.
That's
Yep,
true.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta go
There
there.
you go.
Yeah,
I like
probably
that.
put him above Brad K, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
What else we
Technically,
got?
Terry drove the Bud car. You drove the Bud 11.
Yep.
What else we got?
We also have, out of the 3 of you from Mr. GJ, out of the 3 of you, who's more likely to get the podcast logo tattooed on them?
Kyle.
Out of the 3 of us, who has tattoos?
The only
Yeah.
one with tattoos. The 3
I'm
of
honestly
us.
surprised Kyle hasn't done it
My
already.
first one is not going to be our logo on my ass because then a week later we'll shut the podcast down.
I don't
That's
know,
how
I
my
Change
luck
the
works.
name.
I
We'll
do
get
like
sued.
stupid
That's how,
tattoos.
that's how my luck works is that
I said I do like stupid tattoos.
Yeah, same.
I've had that luck with like dumb stuff. Like I've worked in my company for 10 and a half years. I don't have a single number saved in my phone because years ago, I remember I was at a job. I saved somebody's number. I left a week later.
Nice.
And then their number just lived in my phone for like 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Carteropoli, spec cars with choked down engines. What can teams actually do to get ahead like the 5?
Get out front and stay out front. That's all it was this week.
Yeah, pretty much.
all about penny
Larson
pushing
was the
now.
first one to realize that the track was taking rubber and got out front. You watched it. He went from, I don't know, he was top 5 and he just blew around everybody that was still running at 40% throttle because they were smart enough to realize, hey, the track's taking rubber. Go. Just go.
Yeah, Justin Haley and Carson Hocevar did the same
Yep,
things. They
yep.
went right to the front. Hocevar's pit crew choked it for him. Justin Haley has a great pit crew. He's got the 5's old pit crew. So he's got a good pit crew. I think it was just a little bit of strategy, a little bit of luck on restarts.
Yep.
But yeah, it was. But now it's. I mean, I was talking to Mike is vegan in the Discord about this. He goes, drivers back in the day knew every nut and bolt on these cars, and that's why they were better. And it's like, no, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the way you listen to Corey LaJoy, he probably. I don't listen to Denny all that much, but Corey goes into in depth in just his lingo when he's talking about setting up the cars and what he communicates with his team. You don't need to know what cars do to talk like that. Like now it's like, yeah, it's a 10th here or 8th there. And it's like, it's just all fractions and decimal points. And like I said, like teams now, they sit in their operation meeting. What used to be like, oh, look at the video. This is what the car was doing. Look at how it leans here. Now they're looking at a freaking stock market board.
They're looking at throttle traces.
And now it's like, look at the green line. See, you should be where the red line is.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Too much.
you don't need to know what cars do to do that now.
Ryan Martin, Autosports. How big are you guys' diecast collection? And is it 164th or 124th?
don't know.
Mine.
Kyle's got the weird 118.
Kyle's got a bunch of 118s.
I have one.
Kyle's got a
118.
bunch of 118s. I didn't want to be left out.
Steve,
I
you wanna
have.
mention that?
Kyle, you
I
wanna bring
have
it?
one 118.
No,
I only
how many
have-
does Kyle have though? A bunch.
He's got a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only have those two 118s are the ones that I paid for.
You got
Those
4
were-
more behind me.
Other people's collections that I have since acquired.
Gotcha.
But I'm a 1/24th scale guy, and my
Same.
collection is pretty big.
You got a pretty good size one. I know myself and Norm are pretty common, I think, where we don't have a lot. We have a couple.
I have 5 or 6.
I have 4 or 5.
I'm
but
probably in the 70.
But our
ballpark.
dads,
Yeah.
we're going to end up with their collections someday.
Yeah, my dad has hundreds.
My dad's got hundreds because he went through a stage from 1998 when the Chrome Illusion car came out. That was his first diecast. I remember he bought it off my uncle who had originally started collecting diecasts.
Yeah.
That started the fire, and he collected all the way up through, I know, towards the middle of Car Tomorrow. He has a bunch of cars with the wings on them. And then he hasn't bought a
Okay.
diecast in years. And then he bought the Terry one last year, the throwback, the
My
large.
Is that
dad-
the race one? Is that the race you win?
Yes. Yes.
My
Don't know
dad
that.
stopped at Car Tomorrow's. I bought him, or he bought, I think he bought Junior's, both the Junior's Hendrick cars,
Yep.
the AMP and the National Guard one. And those are like the most recent diecast he
Yeah.
bought. But he had every car from 98 to 2008.
Well, that's
Like,
how
he had
my
every single one.
That's how my dad was. You look at the Gen 4s, and it was like if a driver he liked or was even remotely liked came out with a paint scheme for the Winston or for the Monte Carlo, the Looney Tunes cars,
Yeah.
he would get the Gordon, the Terry, the Junior, back in the day, the Senior. And then he also was the type. So we used to have, I think I brought it up here before, Bentley Chevrolet in Londonderry used to have a thing called the Pro Shop. And it was a store in the parts department that was nothing but NASCAR stuff.
Right.
And
yeah.
he was friends with the guy that ran it. He would order his action cars from there, but he would just go in there and kind of like we do with the Gypsy tents. Oh, he has the Jeff Green Yoo-Hoo car because he thought it was cool and it was on sale for like $20. He's hell yeah, grab that.
Yeah, I
He
have
has,
a bunch of those.
The 1010 345 car because he thought the colors were cool. He went through a stretch of collecting all the Buckshot Jones cars because my dad is a huge fan of Cheez-Its and Buckshot had the Cheez-Its 00 car.
Yeah.
So you can imagine his excitement when Terry got Cheez-Its because his favorite driver has his favorite snack cracker.
Hell yeah.
Dude, he has, no joke, if I go up in the attic, he may have thrown some of them away. He had a mountain of Cheez-It Terry boxes because he was on the Cheez-It boxes and he saved a shit ton of them. I remember going up there like, okay, you have all of them. What the hell, Dad?
Yeah.
But he had same thing. Like from 98 to mid 2000s, it was probably 10 to 15 cars a year.
Well, we've talked about
And
it
then
before.
he slowed down in the car tomorrow, but he still bought a bunch.
My dad had every car that he could put the winning car on the TV every week.
Yep.
Like Jimmy Johnson won this week, 48 Lowe's car on top of the TV. Back when we had projection TVs and giant cable boxes, it would sit right in the center of the TV every week. Jeff Gordon won, Jeff Gordon go on the TV. Junior won, Junior go on the TV. My dad has, I think, 90% of the paint schemes Dale Sr. ever ran. Back all the way to his dirt car that he raced for somebody. It was a bright pink, like
K2.
55 Chevy with K2 on the side of it. He's got those. He owns, I'd say, I talked about Dale Jr. running all the Xfinity cars. He's got damn near every Xfinity car Dale Jr. ever ran throughout the 2000s.
I love that this just became like us in middle school. Like, my dad's got cooler
Yeah.
shit. No,
Yeah.
my dad's got cooler
Well, no,
shit.
I'm just saying, like,
I've never been
our
into it.
dads are very similar in that sense where there is, I mean, I know there's a closet in his house with mountains of,
You're both just itching to take those.
not really.
Oh, my dad had all the-
because it's a lot of shit.
It's a
all
lot
the
to sift
all the
through.
clear boxes.
Yeah.
There was an entire closet
Yep.
filled with the clear boxes
Like, yeah.
so he could double stack them on his shelves.
Oh, my dad's got the closet full of the action, the boxes they came in. And when I was a kid, he had 90% of them displayed. He had the cases, the 2x2, you can fit like 16 of them in.
Yeah.
He had those like triple stacked on the wall. Now he's cut it down. I think he only has like 3 or 4 of the cases and he just rotated. He had like all the junior, senior, Gordon and Jimmy cars were out. I think he just kind of did a rotation and put some new ones out.
Oh, my
Yeah.
dad built shelves into the
Oh,
wall.
hell yeah.
Like that's literally the centerpiece of their living room is
That's
five,
the dream. That's
five
the dream right
deep
there.
shelves, double-sided or two sides. The entire length of the living room wall is all die-cast cars.
I have a
I
couple.
remember when I was younger, me and him, I would take them all down and we'd dust them
Yeah.
all and dust the shelves, put them all back.
I
in the exact
remember
right order.
I have a couple 164ths. I don't know where they are. I remember I had a Peter Max car and I loved the action ones.
One by
Yep.
right over your
I
shoulder.
loved the action 164ths because you could open the package and play with them and put them back in the package.
Yeah. Those
They
are-
weren't like a Hot Wheels where you had to destroy the package. Like you could open it,
Yeah.
play with it a little bit, and then you close it back up.
You got a pretty good collection, Scumbag.
Yeah, I probably got like around 50 or so, give
Yeah.
or take.
Your collection grew fast. too.
Yeah. Facebook groups will
They
really
get
Yeah, but
you.
you're getting
get
them
ya.
all for like screaming deals
Yeah,
too.
I also do like
he'll text me. He's like, I got these two for $36.
Yeah.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I gotta pay a guy on Friday, and I think I got like 6 or 8 more.
I
coming.
think I think back to what my dad was spending now. I mean, the diecast market hasn't changed. They're still $80 to $100.
Oh yeah.
But I think about like,
About to
yeah,
go
my
up.
dad got a lot of the clearance ones that he liked for cheap, but he also paid full price premium when like, you know, the Peter Max car came out and the whatever the new thing was. And I think back of what he probably spent on those and that they are worth nothing.
Yeah. There's quite a few.
I think the only one he has that might be worth anything at all, and I know Steve just got it, was not just got it, you got it like a year or two ago, is the Earnhardt Last Win car, the raced version.
Oh yeah.
that's a
He
good
has
one.
that one.
I think the vast majority of mine I bought later, like for cheap.
Gypsy Tents.
Yeah, Gypsy Tent style. I have a handful of like the Harvick Budweiser
Yeah.
when they brought the 29 back. Like, yeah, I bought that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some pretty good collections between. Well, I guess between two of us in here,
yeah.
you guys will eventually have the collections.
Well, that's the thing, is my biggest thing is I don't buy them because I don't even know where to fucking put them.
yeah. And then
If I have
then
a place-
someday, you're gonna start. You're like, you know what? Maybe I'll start collecting, and then you're gonna start collecting, and then that's gonna be the day when your dad's like, "Here's 175."
Yeah.
Buddy, you know what I'm more worried about? Is what I'm going to inherit when he...
Oh God, let's not.
No, but me and him have actually started morbidly joking about this, that he's either going to leave me the house and sell all the cars, or he's going to give me all the cars and sell the house.
Yeah.
Like, here's 15 Chevelles.
Good luck.
Good luck finding a place for him, asshole. This is for all the shit you put me through when you were a kid. Or it's going to be the opposite. He's going to not tell me, leave me the house. I'm going to go over there. The garage is going to be empty.
Just a stack of cash in a briefcase. He's like, "Suck it, loser, I'm out of here."
No, it'd be the burnt stack. It'd be in all a barrel and charred.
Yeah.
Suck it, nerd.
Is
One
that it?
more for Carteropoly.
Oh.
Y'all excited for the LIF drafty car?
Absolutely.
That update should be coming out around Dega. I'll believe it when I see it. I still don't believe it's actually happening.
Yeah, we were
so-
supposed to get a spoiler of that.
and that never happened. But
We do have a question or several on the Discord.
Okay.
they were better this week.
Yeah,
kept
well,
every-
I cleared some stuff out.
Yeah, some people still haven't, even though he changed the title of the Discord channel,
I did.
still hasn't gotten through.
What do we got, Norm?
Oh Jesus. From Mr. Flat Out Forever. What's your favorite unique oval track shape, regardless of currently being on the schedule or not?
Was it Concord I just did?
Concord was cool.
I did Concord on iRacing in mini stocks, and it was a riot.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that because it's not an oval at all, but whatever. It's like an L.
Oswego's a fucking circle. I hate that track though. It's a flat circle. I mean, obviously we love Pocono.
Not oval.
Someone gave him shit for that. I think because he even used Pocono as an example, and I think Jet was like, "That's not an oval," but it's on the schedule and
It's
it's
got
unique.
straightaways and you only turn left.
Yeah.
Can't be a circle.
I mean, I like Homestead that it's not a D oval.
Yeah,
Obviously Darlington with the egg shape, how it's two completely different fucking
that
corners.
I enjoy. Yeah, that's a cool stat. I
Uh,
like the story behind it too.
yeah, the story behind it's awesome. That's probably it. I mean, obviously Nazareth was a triangle too.
I go Rockingham just because I love short tracks with ridiculous banking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dover being like a banked concrete New
I'm
Hampshire.
gonna say it. I like Atlanta.
I don't hate it.
In its current state,
Yeah,
it's all right.
it puts on a pretty damn good show.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I
Like we
enjoy it.
said, every time it comes around, it gets better every time.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking forward to Hot Slick Atlanta.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else to add, Mr. Steven?
No,
Is there anything
not
else?
really.
No,
You guys
disco?
pretty much nailed it.
All right. This next one is from Joe Spinelli. This is pretty much just to torment Kyle.
Okay.
Fuck, Mary Kill. Texas
boy.
World.
Yeah.
Auto Club.
Oh,
Aw.
Chicagoland.
Oh,
that's not dead yet.
Where I pretty much just said God has already killed two of the three of those.
Yep.
So it's just up to the third one.
marry Texas World. Fuck Auto Club. Kill Chicagoland.
I would flip Texas World and Auto Club.
Kill Texas World, marry Auto Club, fuck Chicago.
I'll
Yeah.
marry Auto Club. Fuck Texas World, kill Chicago.
Well, Texas World, you're gonna be driving through somebody's living room. So
From Levi, that race or Bristol Dirt.
that right.
We already said this. Never
Bristol Dirt.
Never putting dirt in that
That-
fucking son of a
that
bitch ever
race.
again.
that race.
Ugh, rough. That's a choosing between two evils.
Just Bus. Apparently, there was a lot more questions in here than I thought. Do you think the limits on top guys racing down should exist, or should we allow the Kyles to dominate Truck and Xfinity whenever they want?
I think the limit should still be there.
I agree.
I like it because now it's more rare, so it's more exciting.
It's
when
more
it happens.
exciting. It wasn't as cool when every week you had
Well, we had literally Carl Edwards going for 2 championships at
had
the same time.
Carl Edwards,
Harvick too.
Dale Jr., Harvick,
KFB.
Biffle, KFB. You'd have 7. I remember watching when we were kids. You'd end up watching the Busch race, and the top 8 would be Cup guys.
It also kind of snuffs out the farm league, if you will, of like people coming up because they keep taking seats.
Yeah.
So like at a certain point, you're gonna have all these drivers that starting to age out, but there's no one else coming up because the drivers are doing both.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that limit in there.
I'm fine. I'm fine with the limit.
The 5, I mean, they could go up a couple, maybe do like
8.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there has to be a limit for those reasons. For
Agreed.
the health of the sport long term.
Yeah,
Not so much for the ass kicking, because I enjoy when they go down there and beat the shit out of the younger,
they need
younger
to
guys.
make sure there's plenty of seats for kids to buy.
Yeah.
Another thing I
right.
saw to add on to that, somebody posted on Twitter, and I saw Ricky commented on it, so it popped up on my feed, is like they were like almost like, what if the Cup guys came down, but they weren't getting in top equipment? Like Kyle Larson's getting in an Alpha Prime car or something like that.
I would much prefer that.
That'd be cool.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, we saw all these guys dropping down to Colleague. We know Colleague's a B+ team, and Kyle Larson and those guys all dropped down to Colleague last year or the year before, and they were doing just fine. So I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't
hate that.
like Ross Chastain dropping down and running DGM cars.
Yep.
Like that's cool.
That was awesome.
I mean, he's not going to win in them, but dropping down to like a B-level team, never mind Hendrick Motorsports, maybe drop down to a Colleague or something like
Yeah.
that.
SS
just,
Greenlight or something
just
like that.
yeah, step below is fine. I don't have any problem with that, but I don't think it should be mandatory.
Yeah.
Joe Spinelli did put a pretty complex question in here. Joe, we'll save that for next week when maybe there's a little less topics to discuss.
True.
Okay.
Because it's like a 10-part question.
Oh, boy.
So
Okay. Yeah, we'll save
it would be a bit much for this episode. But
We're going
next
to need
week
some content, probably.
we might have some free time. We can dive into that one.
Cool. Is that it?
That's it for Discord.
That's it for the Instagram and the chat. So that means it's the end of yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast.
Yay.
Thank you all for bearing with me in my time away. And thank you, gentlemen, for putting on a wonderful product without me.
Listen, I wouldn't say it's wonderful.
No,
but I
you guys did a
appreciate your
bang-up
butter.
job.
I appreciate you buttering
Did
me up.
I?
Bang up job. You didn't even show up half the time. Shut up.
Yeah, we're in the
Yeah,
market.
one night it was literally
That's because Norm decided to change the day. We
Literally,
agreed on
Norm
Monday.
had a date on Monday, okay?
literally one
With who?
night
With my taxes.
was just me and Norm. I don't know how we pulled that night off. Just us. Like
Yeah.
that was rough. But
Well, you did fine. You did fine. All right, before we sign off, do all of the things on all of the socials at
follow us at loosesfast_pod on Twitter and Instagram, and go subscribe to the YouTube. We keep seeing that number slowly go up, and it's making me happy. That is the Loosest Fast podcast on YouTube, and
Yeah.
you can watch us live, and you can watch the camera cut out 6 fucking times tonight.
Follow the
Sorry.
link trees. Get in on our Discord. Join
Yes.
us for that nonsense. And also jump in there because that's when we talk about the announcements for Joe Spinelli's Loosest Fast Beer League.
If you're on
that we race
iRacing, if you're on iRacing, we do it monthly. It's a fucking riot. We laughed all night long. It's
Yeah,
so
the
fun.
more the merrier.
and the more we get, maybe the more frequent we do it.
Yep.
Yeah. And the less experience, the better.
Yeah,
Because-
don't worry about being bad because we're all bad.
Yeah, me and
Yeah, we're
Dan
just
enjoy
having
winning
fun.
these.
Yeah, me and Norm are really having fun beating up on everybody.
Hey, I finished top 3 in 2 of those.
Unfortunately, Ricky's priorities or his other scheduled events have ended. So now Ricky's joining us. Ricky's extremely good.
Yep.
Don jumped in this week.
Don's good.
Don's good. So
Come
get some
join
more
us,
of them.
and even if you suck, we'll just have a good time.
Yep.
Looking
That's-
at you,
we-
Kevin Miller.
Yeah, seriously, Kevin,
Yeah,
we need
Relum,
you.
you're out of iRacing
hang out.
jail. Join us.
Go over to loosefastpodcast.com, pick yourself up some merch.
Yep. Especially if you're
Um,
going to the track, rep us. Wear a fanny pack. Wear a
Yeah, do
flag
that.
as a cape.
Uh,
Put the vanity plate on your ass. I don't care.
Share the episode image that Norm so beautifully makes every week.
Yep.
Helps us grow. Tag us and stuff on comments on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. And yeah,
Tell people to listen to us. Go on Reddit and be like, you should listen to the Loosest Fast podcast.
exactly. Cool. Well, I'm Kyle Belcher,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norm Peltier.
Scumbag Steve.
and we'll catch you next week.
It's hot as fuck.
I'm on the wrong page.
Welcome to the Rock